Jay, that's strangely close to Daniel Jones from the Giants. Daniel, is that you? Beat the Chiefs. Show me. If the Broncos and Russell Wilson can show me that they can beat the Chiefs, then I will start believing.
The crowd up. And so are this defense, and Kansas City won't snap the ball again. The Denver Broncos have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
David Montgomery on the Lions, former Bear, gonna make this his revenge game for sure. David Montgomery gets the touchdown that ices the game. No! And there's the flag. There's flags. There's flags. There's flags. There's flags. Snap. Hold. Kick.
Denver wins! Denver wins! Let's go!
They open. No!
What happened? Oh shit.
America is football. Football is
Football is America. If you don't like it, you can kiss your candy ass for the moment in time. I don't give a damn. Oh my god.
No!
You loved it.
30-27. Chiefs win. Chiefs win 30-20.
Woo! What up, everybody? Welcome back to Only Football. Kyle.
Oh!
Hey, Kyle, remind me, did a team today during the second slate of football, was there a team that scored 33 points in the fourth quarter? I can't remember.
I think there was. I've never seen anything like it. I was just like trying to contextualize it for other, I'm like, no, this was insane. This is like, it went from like the worst game in the last 2 years to the best game I've ever seen. And like, it's just so much emotion, so much like ups and downs, and like, oh, we lost, we won, we lost, we won. And really, like, if you guys didn't truly watch that game, like, I would highly recommend going back and just watching the fourth quarter, because it was the best fourth quarter I've ever seen. And I've watched a lot of football in my life. Never seen anything close to that.
That was an insane comeback to be down by that many points and score 33 points in a quarter. What most teams struggle to do in 4 quarters, the Broncos did in 1 quarter, which was just insane to see. We talked about the Browns not being able to score more than 17 or more than 20 this season. The Broncos scored 33 and a quarter. Browns, I think it's possible to score 20 in a game.
Yeah.
Nick!
It was, man, it's like, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy right now. And I took the Broncos at halftime. I put $10 on them, and then I bet on the Broncos and Packers. So I ended up winning $75 on top of this.
Wow.
Because the Broncos and Packers were both losing. I should have waited until they were down, 21 points. I bet I would have won thousands if I would have waited like until the fourth quarter. Because when I placed my bets, they were down by 13. They would go on being down almost 20 points in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes left. That would have been an easy like plus 20,000. I missed out on it, but I was so into the game, like I like leave it. What do you think with this one? Wait, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, how are you feeling? Because I know at one point the Broncos had scored either a touchdown or 2, and they were down. The Giants had scored to make it 26-14 or something like that, and there was probably like 4 minutes or so left. How are you feeling with that score at that point in time?
I was feeling terrible because it felt like it was all for nothing when
Mhm.
our defense went out there and they had to get a stop. And if we got the ball back, it was 16-19 at that point. And it
Yeah.
was like, okay, all we got to do is get a stop with 5 minutes left. We kick a field goal and it's tied up.
Mhm.
And they end up on 3rd and 12 getting a penalty. It's 3rd and 19.
Yeah.
And the ball gets tipped and it lands in the tight end's hands and it's a 50-yard touchdown. And you're like, oh my God, like there it
Mhm.
goes. Like how
Mhm.
are we? But you're just like, well, they just have to score really quick. And they did.
Yep.
And then it was really the interception that by Justin Chernod that really like turned it for us, because then we were at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It was just, it's so chaotic. Like there's so many moments where you go back and like Sean Payton's unsportsmanlike conduct penalty won us the game probably, because
Yeah.
Jackson Dart ran it for 1 yard, but they were supposed to be on the 2. So we would have lost all that time and the Giants would have scored with maybe giving us 15 seconds. But instead, Sean commits a penalty. The Giants score immediately and we have 40 seconds to go kick a field goal. Like,
Oh, nice.
there's so many moments like that throughout
Yeah.
the 4th quarter where you're like, oh my God, if this didn't happen, if that didn't happen, like the Giants win, the Broncos win. It's just craziness.
Yeah, dude, that was an insane game. And now we turn our attention here to Sunday Night Football. Falcons running the ball here with Bijan for about 3 yards. I put up a post, a poll right now on the Only Football page on YouTube. Currently, 60% of the votes are going Falcons, 40% 49ers. Kyle, this Sunday Night Football game, I mean, both of these teams can score a lot of points, but they can also get scored on a lot, as Penix is coming out for a 2nd and 5 here.
Yeah.
I forget what exactly we picked, but what do you got for this game?
Yeah, I felt like this was one where Atlanta should win, but I felt like I had to pick the Niners. But either
Mhm.
way, I think this is going to be a really competitive game. I think you're going to see multiple touchdowns by Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
I think you're going to need a big game from Drake London, because I forget,
Yep.
did Darnell Mooney get ruled out? Because I had to start him because I ended up doing it and now he's locked. He's
Let's
still listed as
see.
questionable on my
Active. He is active.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
You're like, thank God.
You have Darnell Mooney out there. Drake London's coming off of maybe one of his best games ever.
Mhm.
And you're just wondering, like, can they continue that? But Bijan Robinson's going to need multiple touchdowns. They like to motion him and try to get him on there it is right there.
Yep.
They get him matched up with the linebacker on a choice route, and he's going to win that every time. But what are they going to do here, do you think? Go for it?
They're about a half yard short. Looks like Morris is going to send his punt unit out. Unless I'm not seeing anything else yet. I'm not seeing the offense out there.
Yeah,
But
I hate that because it goes down as a 3 and out.
mhm.
But Atlanta did, they were having some success, but just a half a yard short.
Yeah, they're going to punt it here.
Or fake it.
Or a fake punt. Or a fake punt. Here we go. There's the punt.
We don't see more fake punts, to be honest.
Wow, all the way to the 9, and it's fielded by the 49ers there, but they're going to get it to about the 15, and the ball's out.
Is it?
It looked like it was. We had a couple guys jumping all around, and Mac Jones coming out for the 49ers. The 49ers recovered that, if anything, but they'll be starting their drive at the 15-yard line as they're going through the offense there. Kendrick Bourne, former Patriot, George Kittle with his crazy haircut. Mac Jones starting another game. He's looked decent with the 49ers, and this is just a Shanahan effect, I feel like, Kyle.
Yeah. This is last week. You kind of had a come down to earth game.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wondering, well, can he be the version we saw on Thursday night a couple weeks ago? Or
and he gets sacked, launched to start in the first quarter. No.
Yeah, one of the great things we saw the Atlanta Falcons trade back up in the first round with the Rams to select a rusher. I'm blanking his name right now, but he has had a couple weeks where he's led all rookies in pressure rate. And the Falcons, the one thing they were lacking was bringing pressure to the quarterback. This year, they're starting to actually get a real defense, and it's dangerous.
And there's CMC for a big run, goes for about 7 yards. They're going to be actually about 9 yards. They're going to be short about 4 here on third down. But yeah, the Falcons defense, man, has been like surprisingly effective. You'd mentioned them kind of putting pressure on the quarterback, and you just saw here they get a sack. I have to look at the numbers, but I think they're like one of the better defenses. Opponent's yards per game. Atlanta is number 1 in terms of opponent yards per game, as Mac Jones is going to dump it here to CMC for a first down for the 49ers. But they are the best opponent yards per game defense. I want to see what their scoring defense is like.
I have Christian McCarffrey on my fantasy team, so
there you go.
Awesome. What?
I was like, there you go. You got
I thought you said no, you don't.
No, you don't, dude.
Like,
Atlanta is tied for 7th in points per game at 20 points per game allowed. So their defense is doing, like you said, everything that they wanted to do last year, they're improving on. And you see it in the numbers. You see it in the ranks as they go for 9 yards here on that first down.
Man, what's crazy is, the as far as offensive player of the year, it's been a 2-man race, in my opinion, between you had Bijan Robinson and Jonathan Taylor, really.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Taylor kind of like took a hit because of how good Bijan did last week. But then this week, 3 rushing touchdowns today. And
Such
it's
a
like,
monster.
all right, Bijan, it's your turn.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, and here we go, Robinson Jr., Brian Robinson Jr. for the 49ers gets a first down. That dude, it was like, our team is elite. All right, it's time for me to be elite, which, by the way, the Colts, Jinja, they look really good. I wasn't on the stream for the games, but I was watching Red Zone, and they look good. They look really good. The Colts do.
Yeah, they just more of the same, out of the Colts.
And a quick throw there. I believe that was Kittle. No, it was another tight end, number 89, gets a first down here for the 49ers.
We are getting Kittle back today. So that is, he's been out for quite a while.
Oh, that's right. He's been out since what, week 2? Maybe week 1?
I think week 1 or week 2, yeah.
Mac Jones looking, and he's just going to throw it to the ground near. It's supposed to be a running back screen there, and it just the pressure from Atlanta is getting to him.
Yeah, and Drake London, man, he's been amazing this year. Do you think a big game is coming for Drake London?
I don't know.
I think he had like 180 yards last week or something.
Oh, wow.
Something ridiculous. Like,
I mean, that's a big game right there already. Yeah. I mean, he should be able to continue his success. I'm not really sure how San Francisco is. I mean, they're good in points per game. I just don't know how their secondary really is. And I'm going to do passing defense.
Let me see. Drake London game logs, stats, game logs. Here we go. So last week he had 32 points. He had 158 receiving yards, 10 catches, and a receiving touchdown on 16 targets.
Oh, wow.
So Darnell Mooney, he should decrease the amount of targets, but we'll see how effective he still is.
And pressure there from the Falcons causes Mac Jones to throw that ball away. That is a 4th and 9 now. So the 49ers, I don't know where they're at exactly in the field. They're close to midfield, so they're probably going to punt it here. The 49ers are 18th, bottom half of the league in passing yards per game. So, I mean, we could see another big game from Drake London, and even, Darnell Mooney gets involved in there against this passing defense.
Yeah, and there's a world where both of these players contribute to the offense. It's not one or the other, but it's just maybe he doesn't have 18 targets. Maybe it's more like 10, 11, but still, both get close to 100 yards and a couple touchdowns.
And that punt goes into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback. Crafty, there's no talking behind your back this stream yet. I want to put the yet there. Not yet.
Yeah.
Danny Dimes. Yeah, man, I said it, Crafty. They're looking really, really good.
I'm excited to see. So I did a little homework for this game, especially about Raheem Morris, head coach for the Falcons. He used to be the defensive coordinator for the Rams and Buccaneers. And that kind of ties into what they like to run, because I was studying the Bucs and the way that they run their defense. And what I've found is they actually don't have that complicated of an offense. They run cover 3 and cover 4, but they have 3 different fronts that they use. So they line up differently at the line of scrimmage. So your front 5, they'll line up in different ways. Sometimes they'll overload one side and then they'll bring in a free rusher. So if you think about it, the tackle's like, I got this guy. Then you got the guard that's like, I got this guy. But then there's a third guy who the running back's responsible for blocking. And then comes the free safety, and there's like, okay, there's no one to get him. We outnumbered them. Now, when you do that, usually you have numbers downfield. So it's you gotta be successful at getting to the quarterback, or there's gonna be somebody open, because usually you're running zone where you're like, okay, we got to drop a defensive end from this side, and he runs straight across the field to cover the flat where that free rusher is coming from. But for Raheem Morris, you got multiple and hybrid fronts, frequently mixes 3-4, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and 4-3 with 4 down linemen and 3 backers. So you're going to see a lot of that, a lot of pre-snap, but then shifting into sub packages, whether it's nickel or dime, for pass heavy situations. And then Tampa 2 influences. Rooted early in his career with the Buccaneers, where he contributed to their Super Bowl win. He likes to incorporate Tampa 2 principles, a zone coverage scheme with 2 high safeties. So all that to say, that's pretty much, we've talked about Raheem Morris, like whether he's a guy that's going to be the head coach for the long run, or if this is kind of his final season, if he doesn't improve and go to the playoffs with this team that we believe is really talented. So I think at the end of the day, like, if you're going to be a defensive coach, your defense has to be great. It has to be great.
Yeah, totally agree. And here we go. Bijan with a carry. It's going to go to no gain. And I mean, it's kind of shown too. I was just looking at the ranks for the Atlanta Falcons defense, and they're up there. They're definitely closer to the top half of the league. And this is kind of, again, we talked about it earlier. It's just an improvement from what they were last year, because last year we were saying all the time, like, the Falcons are a sneaky good team, but then they'd have really bad stretches of games as they go for first down here to Darnell Mooney. There's your boy. But it seems to have gotten much, much better. And like you said, Raheem Morris, if he wants to continue to coach this team, you have to continue the dominance on defense. You've got to win games, and you've got to go to the playoffs. I mean, it's going to be tough with Baker and the Bucs up top the division for 5 years in a row, but this seems to be like the best version of this Atlanta team over the past couple of years that they've had that can really make a strive, I guess, towards that division title. And Kyle Pitts over the middle for a first down, but there is a flag. Kyle Pitts, there he is.
It looked like the throwing motion took a while there for Penix.
Oh, there's a holding call.
It's going to be, it's going to come back.
Number 63, it looked like, or Wilkinson, it was one of those guys. Takes away that Kyle Pitts. Oh man, that catch. And Kyle Pitts is like, bro, come on. I've been struggling to get my career going.
Here we go. 1st and 20. See if they can get some of that yards back.
And Robinson up the middle for about 4 yards or so.
That's amazing when you can just, hey, we're at 1st and 20. We need to get some of the yards back, and you can just drop back and hand it to your running back, and he can pick up 8. That's just such a luxury. And I think he's kind of become the consensus number 1 running back this year. The way he has played every week, just unstoppable.
Yeah, dude, like you said, he's definitely up there for offensive player of the year, and it's going to be a big catch on 2nd and 13. That should be going right there for about 10 yards. 3rd and 3 coming up.
Yeah, I guess I never noticed. Michael Penix has a really long release, which isn't great. I'm watching him throw, and it's just like, it seems like the throwing motion for him takes a while.
Like from kind of cranking it back.
Decision to release. Like he doesn't have a really quick release.
Yeah.
Like you'll notice it once you'll see here.
Let's see. 3rd and 3.
It should be a quick ball out situation, so it'll show up here.
I see what you're saying now. Yeah, and there's Pitts with the 1st down catch. This time he could point for the 1st down. But I see what you're saying, though. It's like he has to – it's almost like he holds the ball a lot lower than he should, which kind of creates a longer decision to release.
When you try to throw it with your left hand and you're a right-hander, and you're like, it's just kind of wrong. Like you're like, you can't put your finger on it, but something's just a little off.
Little bit off. I agree. 1st and 10, Penix shotgun. And they're going to fake the handoff and quick little sidearm throw.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah, it goes for about 3 yards to Drake London.
That was probably the quickest one I've seen, and he actually changed his throwing motion there and sidearmed it.
There's Fred Warner.
Look at him, lazy. He's got his foot up there, just chilling. Have some respect.
Stand up for this game.
Wearing shoes, dude. How disrespectful.
Of course, Fred Warner injured his foot.
Look at him. Oh, now he's saying hi to the cameras. Release him.
Shotgun, 2nd and 7.
Just kidding.
Quick throw to Bijan on the left side, and Bijan is going to evade a tackler and get a 1st down there on that pass.
Love that. Puts his foot down. So shifty, so quick. He is the closest thing, I think, to Christian McCaffrey. Jahmyr Gibbs, another one of these guys that's just amazing. When you got a running back like this, you can motion him out wide. You see a linebacker go out with him, bring him back in. You got a linebacker on Bijan Robinson. Not many linebackers are going to be able to handle that. So it changes from schematic point. The whole entire defense you have to run just for one guy.
Penix back to pass, going to lob it up in the air to nobody in the sidelines. There's a little bit of pressure coming.
At least get it out to who was it at the flat?
I don't think it was Bijan. It was one of his receivers, I believe.
Who's wearing number 1?
That's Darnell Mooney. Yeah, number 1 is Darnell.
Okay.
Yeah. KC.
Oh, look, they're buddies.
They're boys. KC is saying, your thoughts on our teams? Broncos, Bears, Eagles, and Chiefs all winning on the same Sunday. What were the odds? Hey, anytime we come into this stream both happy after a victory, it's a good time.
I got good news. The Broncos, the Bears, the Eagles, and the Chiefs all winning on the same Sunday. That's not going to be that unlikely the way the future looks.
It looks, especially Bears and Broncos. Especially Bears and Broncos. How do you feel, Kyle? Atop the division, atop the AFC West.
I feel really encouraged more than
Mhm.
ever. I mean, like, I can't. This team is capable. They showed you in the fourth quarter, but that's like in spite of all the mistakes. They still need to clean it up.
Mhm.
There's so much work to do. But
Mhm.
when you can win while you have a lot of work to do, it shows what kind of team you are.
Yeah, and to me, as Bijan runs for a first down, looks like it's still the penalties for the Bears, and the passing game today
Same.
wasn't very very good, but the penalties need to be cleaned up. And Ben Johnson said this in his locker room post game speech, was telling the players like, "Hey, imagine when we clean up all these penalties,
Yep.
we're gonna look really really good." But and again, the passing game today wasn't on target like
It's just
at
like at
all.
some point it can't be like when, you know?
Mm-hmm,
It's like,
mm-hmm.
okay, it's almost the halfway point in the season.
Yeah.
We can't
Mm-hmm,
be like it's not the first 4 games anymore. We gotta find a way to clean this up. And that was
mm-hmm.
almost completed. It was Tyler Algier downfield, but there is a flag on the play. I gotta pee
Yeah,
so bad. One second.
sounds good. It looks like Algier was motioning for a face mask. We'll see what the refs say here.
Boo.
Boo. Ineligible player downfield for the Falcons. Number 64, their offensive lineman, Nuzul. And I guess he went past that 1 yard of error that they give these guys. And Falcons are now looking at a first and 15. That's right, Crafty. That's right. We know throwing motions here. First and 15. Penix, quick throw left side to Kyle Pitts, who gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That's a loss of about 2. Kyle Ping for San Fran's D. That's exactly what's going on here. How dare he? How dare he? Still 50. Now it has moved to 50% 49ers Falcons on this poll that we have up on the Only Football YouTube page right now. 50-50. You guys haven't voted on it. Go vote on the poll. All right, 2nd and 8 now, or 18. 2nd and 18. Penix back to pass. A lot of time, but he starts to roll right, and there's a flag. This might be a holding call, or this might be on the defense. It looks like Raheem Morris pointed towards the defensive side as to say they're the ones that are going to have the flag here. Also, the Cowboys, man, geez. The Cowboys, they killed the Commanders 44-22. They doubled their score. And there's an illegal contact on the defense. Number 36, Sigley, who's a rookie cornerback, it looks like, for the 49ers. And that's going to get the Falcons an automatic first down. Crazy to hear Kyle's change from agony to ecstasy during the game. Yeah, Kyle and I have both been on stream at the same time when both of our teams are struggling and when both of our teams come out with dubs. And I pick the dubs every time, but it is very funny to just kind of listen back and just be like, God, I was so negative during that stream, or I was so mad during that stream. I mean, I have meltdowns after the Bears lose almost. So yeah, totally get it. Totally get it. The fuck? Tatum Bethune. And for the 49ers, Curtis Robinson in at linebacker. I think they're kind of going with like a couple guys here at linebacker instead of Fred Warner because he's injured. He got injured for the year, huh?
Yeah.
Penix looking. He's rolling right now or left. Now he's going right. Is he going to take it himself? No, he's going to pass it to Bijan, who gets close, if not a first down on that catch. He's going to be about a yard short, actually. Just 1 yard. Let's see if they run it with him to get that first down. And 39 seconds left in this first quarter. Nobody has scored. Still 0-0. Let's see if the Falcons can get on the board before the end of the first, or at least going into the early in the second quarter. Dude, chill. Hand it off. Algier up the middle, and he's going to get a first down.
This drive has taken the whole first quarter.
Yeah. And that's going to be the end of the first, right?
Wow.
Right here, yeah. 8 minutes on this drive. This is the second drive for Atlanta. The 49ers have only had one so far.
As a fan, I hate when that happens.
Like the whole first quarter taken up?
Yeah, it's like you wait all week, and then your team gets the ball once, and the first quarter's over. You're like, come on. Like,
yeah. That's kind of how I felt during the Bears game. I was like, really? A 3 and out here? Or I think they had like 6 total plays, something like that. And that was the first time that the Saints stopped the opposing team on their opening drive to hold them scoreless. Of course, Bears intercepted not too long after that and got the ball back, got some points on the board. But yeah, I feel that. And you know what was cool too? I was watching a lot of the post-game stuff for the Bears. Ben Johnson had one game ball to give, and it was to Dennis Allen, defensive coordinator. And he was like, Dennis Allen wasn't necessarily talking about what this game meant to him returning to New Orleans, or not returning to New Orleans, but facing his former team, after being fired as the head coach. But the players were definitely like, oh, we were thinking about it, and we wanted to win this one for Dennis. And they got 4 turnovers. They got 4 sacks. They only let up 14 points. And Dennis Allen had, Ben Johnson gave him the game ball, and Dennis Allen said, hey, man, sometimes you're not meant to be where you're at. And I love being here, change of scenery can help. And I love being here, and you guys did well. But 4 is not good enough. Let's go for 5. And I was like, let's go. I love that.
what do you mean? What do they mean 4 is not good enough?
4 in a row.
4
games. Yeah, 4 games in a row. So I love the 4-game win streak. This is awesome. This is like the best the Bears have looked in a really long time. But I love the attitude of, hey, even Tremaine Edmonds, Kevin Byard were saying, like, this isn't even our best football we're playing, right? And I think they mean the penalties and like the really bad drives they've given up. But we could be better, and it's great to see them like continually wanting to work to be better.
Yeah. And I feel like in order to be good enough to make it to the NFL, like I feel like that's got to be everyone's mindset. And like even when you win a Super Bowl, if you ask 9 out of 10 are going to be like, I want another one. Like you're never satisfied. There's got to be like this obsession with no matter what. I want to build on this, whatever it is. Super Bowl, a win, a streak. You should never really be satisfied during the season, week 8.
Yeah, 100%. Going into the next week,
and you want to hear your players say that.
And I think that was something that we talked about it, man. Like I was saying, like I was watching the games, the second slate, and Bo Nix took over. Bo Nix, he had 2 rushing touchdowns today in the fourth quarter. That's one of the things that I was, kind of talking about him from last year. Even in that playoff game against the Buffalo Bills, I was like, this guy is trying to take it all himself and do it all himself. And I'm not saying that he has to, but it's good to have that kind of leader as your quarterback to be like inspired by him.
Yeah.
Like, well, if this guy's putting his body on the line, what am I doing and what can I do better to also get a win?
That's kind of what fans are all saying right now is like, whether it's memes of Bo Nix in the fourth quarter and it's a picture of Manning but the main thing is like, hey, Sean, like, or it'll say like when Bo Nix is given more than a screen pass, like look what he can do. And there's some truth to that. Like when we're down that much, we're forced to give Bo Nix actual plays instead of these stupid screens. So I don't know. It's something to look at.
Sack lunch. Num 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 on Penix by number 91 of the 49ers, and that is going to be a fourth down.
Solid with the vein in the forehead.
Told you, man. Solid's killing it right now. Is coming back to a D coordinator position for the 49ers. He is making this defense look like the defense of old back before he was the Jets head coach.
No Fred Warner, no Dre Greenlaw, who by the way made his first start today.
Oh yeah, for the Broncos, you're right.
Immediately looked great.
And that is going to go through. The first points are on the board for the Falcons. What'd you say?
Falcons win.
Falcons win.
0 in a slugfest.
Kyle called it. And D-Rock, Kyle, what a effing game. 5-2. Let's fucking go. I
know. And all I can think about is that Colts penalty. We would be 6-1 right now.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Bears and that Vikings game week 1. I'm like, we'd be 5-1. We would be 5-1 right now.
Dude, and the other thing I saw, I forget what it was. I think it was a sack thing. It was like the NFL leaders in sacks, and it was like, I forget. Hold on, let me find it really quick. There was something where it was like Denver was the only team. Oh, it was like yards given up defensively. Like total on the season, and Denver was up there with like 5 other teams, but Denver was the only team that hadn't had their bye week yet. So they had played one game more, than all of the teams in the top 5, yet we were up there with all those teams that had a bye week.
Damn. D-Rock's asking, Kyle, we need another weapon, wide receiver or tight end?
I think we're fine. I just think we need to stop calling plays like we don't have weapons. Like, it feels that way at times, but it's like, what's the point in having another weapon when we're not even getting our current guys the ball?
Yeah.
Like, show me that, it's like your parents are like, show me that you can take care of your bike, and then we can talk about a dog. But until you take care of your bike, don't leave it out laying on the ground, use the kickstand. Like, don't come asking for more things when you can't take care of what you have. And I feel that way with the weapons. Like, another weapon would just be like, oh, cool, we added another toy to sit in our garage and never get used.
Right.
Like, we need to use what we have the way we did in the fourth quarter, the whole game, and then maybe we can talk about. I mean, Denver's interested. They brought in Traylon Burks. Ultimately,
that's right.
Signed him. He signed, I think, with I forget, but he signed with another team's practice squad. So like we know they're interested, but I don't know if it's a necessity.
Gotcha. Yeah, and D-Rock saying the drops, please, no more screen passes.
I am over the drops, dude.
Yeah.
It is like, if people aren't watching, it's affecting Bo Nix's box score so hard. Like, there was at least 7 drops today. Most of them on third down.
God.
It was terrible.
I was going to say, that's been a thing since the beginning of the season. And one of the things I think you had mentioned was that Bo either puts it on like the perfect spot for them to catch it and they just drop it, or maybe he's like a yard or less
These were just straight drops today.
Ugh, I hate that. I hate that.
It was so frustrating because it wasn't even one guy. It was Troy Franklin. It was not Mims. It was Evan Ingram. Sutton had one. It was just like over and over and over.
Let's see. Mac Jones is out at the 35 now. Pass over the middle goes to no one.
That looked like a couple of Bo Nix's passes today where you're like, whoa, that didn't look great. But then the other thing is, too, the quarterback's always going to get blamed when a throw looks this way. But sometimes there's execution question marks. And a lot of our screen plays today didn't work because our receivers weren't blocking. They were just getting beat. So a lot of it comes down to execution. Christian McCaffrey has had to carry the bulk of the load. And when you look at his numbers, they're good, but he's actually averaging like 3 yards a carry. And they just are just riding it like, they just keep giving him the ball. He is maybe the most valuable player to any team right now is Christian McCaffrey outside of the quarterback position.
Yeah.
I don't know if the 49ers are I know they're not 4-2 without him, but I don't know if they even have more than one win without him.
And a big pass for a first down to Juwan Jennings, crossing the midfield mark for Mac Jones. It was so funny. Mac Jones is coming up off that sack, and his face just gave like annoyed. It was so funny, but talked about the execution. Again, the Falcons are putting a lot of pressure on Mac Jones early, but Mac Jones able to get that to Juwan Jennings for first down at the Atlanta 46-yard line. And I'm going to hand it off to CMC, and he's going to get about 5 yards on that carry. 2nd and 5 coming up for the 49ers. And like you said, CMC seems to be carrying the load here for this 49ers team. Injuries up and down. I mean, Kittle was out for so long. Juwan Jennings was out for the beginning of the season. And he's been doing really, really well. And a guy who's always, scared of injury. And here's a big run for a first down for Christian McCaffrey. Shows his toughness, shedding a tackle or two and getting through a couple guys there to finish off the run. What, did Rick try to shit on the Colts? No, Ginger. I was saying that the Colts, I mean, honestly, the Colts are probably the best team in the AFC right now. And I'm actually going to look at the standings here. Buffalo has struggled the last 2 weeks. New England looks better. They've looked really good throughout this season as McCaffrey takes it up the gut for about 2 yards. Pittsburgh, there's definitely, you like what you see in there. But yeah, the Colts, man, the Colts look like the best team in the AFC. And the record shows it. 6-1, 5-2 in New England, and Denver, the Broncos are behind them. But yeah, the Colts look like the best team in the AFC right now. Here we go. 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Quick throw. Oh, intercepted off the tip by Atlanta. And they're going to take it to the 35-yard line off the Juwan Jennings tipped pass. That is the first takeaway for Atlanta tonight. Word on the street is that Moore on the Bears isn't happy in Chi-Town and wants to go to the Mile High City. Nope. No way. We'll keep Moore. Thank you, D-Rock, but thank you, but no thank you. I'd rather keep DJ Moore. We're keeping DJ. He's happy in Chicago. It was definitely last season's losing streak that made him that made it look, and then he was unhappy for sure. His play had gone down, his stats had gone down, touchdowns had gone down, but we're keeping DJ D-Rock. But keep dreaming.
We'll take dreaming. DJ Moore.
That's what he was trying to say.
No, we can't. We don't have the money for that.
Yeah, and he has a pretty friendly contract, team-friendly contract that we signed him to, extended him to last season before the year started.
Ah,
And they just got an
like
interception, Kyle.
$100 million contract though.
What's that?
Is he making over $100 million?
I think it was like a 90 million extension, something like that.
I always thought it was 100.
DJ Moore contract. Oh, 4-year, 110 mil. Yeah,
How much?
110.
110.
Yeah.
Look, this is Brian Burns. James Palmer reported this. He's like the Broncos insider. This is Brian Burns, like in the Broncos locker room or walking back to the visitor locker room.
Oh, he's pissed.
He's screaming, and guess who's walking right next to him? Russell Wilson.
Oh no! That's funny. That's funny.
He's like, that's some fucking stupid ass shit. And like Russell Wilson's just walking like super serious, robotic. Like,
he's like, if I was quarterback, I wouldn't have lost that. And everybody's like, yeah, you would have, Russell. Yeah, you would have.
Exactly. Dude, oh my gosh. This is crazy.
Man, surfers out there on the coast of San Fran.
This is what I said was going to come out. I called it. I said, wait till you see the probability report. Look at this. In the fourth quarter, Sports Center said potential game of the year in Mile High. Denver had a 0.2% chance of victory. The Giants were at 99.8%.
Oh my God. Jesus. Oh, the Giants, man. They did the Giants thing.
Absolutely incredible stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling Mary, I'm like, I just don't know how to tell, like how amazing what just happened is. I don't know how to put it into words.
Kratzy saying Burns got an offsides penalty at the worst possible moment because he couldn't hobble back to the line of scrimmage fast enough.
Yeah, that's true.
Rough. And then he wants to be yelling? Come on. Kyle, don't shove a phone in Crafty's face. Penix throwing deep right side. Incomplete. And there's a flag on Mooney. Lenore. It's going to be defensive pass interference. I think it will be. I'm going to grab another drink. Be right back.
Holy crap. Nick Bonito, 5-51 left the game so fast I couldn't find him after the game. Hashtag delusional. Wow. Oh my goodness. Tell me that's not true. And deleted it again. Bro, if you go and tweet it, stand on it. That's hilarious. This is insane. 1st and 10. Let's see if the 49ers can go down 10-0.
And fakes the handoff. Penix back to pass.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, he didn't want to get it to Bijan there. He knew he was just going to get hit.
Yeah. It was one of those that looked like he was trying to complete it, but then you're like, no.
Yeah. That's a hospital pass right there.
2nd and 10, 8 minutes. Did you have the under in this game?
Do you remember what the under was?
I can't remember. I know we were the second lowest this week. I think Titans and New England might have been the first.
Sounds about right. I'm trying to see.
Which is crazy because we had like 65 points scored in our game.
The over-under here was 46.5, at least from what I'm seeing on CBS right now.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what the opening line was or the opening over-under was, but I think I had the under. Just because, both these defenses could be good. 3rd and 7. And 49ers bringing heat. He's throwing long to nobody. Penix just threw it away. Man, with the pressure coming down from the 49ers, that's just a smart play to go with. I know Falcons fans, and if I was a Falcon fan, I'd probably be very frustrated with what just happened. But at the end of the day, that's probably the smartest move you can make. And it looked like Mooney may have had a step on his guy, though. The Bears with 4 sacks. 4 sacks, 4 takeaways, 44 rush yards allowed, and 4 wins in a row. The rule of 4.
Wow. I think I wrote this perfectly finally. I put, if I told you only these 2 things. Number 1, the Broncos will be down 19-0 to start the 4th quarter. Number 2, the Giants will score more points in the 4th quarter than any other quarter. Number 3, the Broncos will win. The Giants scored more points in the 4th quarter than they did in any other quarter, and they went into it up 19-0.
Wow. And they didn't score again, huh?
Well, they scored 2 touchdowns in the 4th.
Oh, they did score for 2 in
That's
the 4th.
what I'm saying. The Giants scored more points in the 4th quarter than any other quarter. And they went into it up 19-0.
That missed extra point by the Giants kicker was huge. The last one.
Yeah, I mean, that one was
huge.
But if you think about it, both of them are. Because if he makes both of them, we need a touchdown. If he makes one of them, we tie it.
Yep.
Both of them, we win it. So
that's crazy.
The same thing with the Colts. Like, before that penalty, we doinked a 40-yard field goal. And, that would have made it so the Colts would have needed a touchdown. They couldn't have kicked the 60-yard field goal. So, all I'm saying is it feels good to be on the other side of some of these misfortunes.
Mm-hmm. And their kicker, Jude McAdamney, he's got 1 year. I think this is his rookie year or his second year in the NFL. Either way, he is brand spanking new to the NFL. Also, that tipped pass for a touchdown for the Giants, I was like, how does that happen? That was an insane touchdown.
I know. I can't believe that wasn't the knife in the back right there.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was like, that's just one of those things that happens and you're just like, well, game was over, but Broncos didn't give up. Broncos did not give up.
It's amazing. We've seen some really cool comebacks, like the week 1 Bills and Detroit, or Bills and Ravens. That's why I always say, man, anything can happen. You really got to watch till the end.
Big first down run here by McCaffrey.
McCaffrey, let's go.
Juszczyk, the lead blocker there, made way for McCaffrey to get that first down, about 12 yards on that run. Now, here's a guy, Chris Collinsworth, who just wears pink ties and looks great doing it. I wonder if Brock Purdy will be back next week for the 49ers. And here's McCaffrey again running up the gut, 6 yards. 7 minutes, 13 seconds left in the second quarter. The first quarter just flew right by. Only 3 points been scored in this game so far.
Yeah, it's been kind of, I guess, I think it feels like most teams, both teams are moving the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when they get on the fringe, drives are either stopping and or they're just getting close and not. Oh, there's McCaffrey.
Just ran him over on an Atlanta Falcon into Falcons territory. My God.
It's definitely a matter of time before either McCaffrey or Bijan take one to the house. We know that both of these two running backs, it's really a measuring stick game for Bijan, in my opinion, because Christian McCaffrey, he's been proving all year that like he's still the best running back in the NFL. And Bijan has a chance to kind of dethrone him today with a bigger game.
Yeah, they're going to hand it off. This time it is not to CMC, but who is that? Oh, Brian Robinson Jr., who takes the rush there. Second down for the 49ers. Dude, Dallas destroyed the Commanders. Green Bay wins an ugly one in Arizona, and the Chargers looked really bad against the Colts.
Yep.
I think the biggest surprise was Dallas just absolutely annihilating the Commanders. They've lost 2 in a row now.
Yeah, it's hard to judge because we know that the Chargers, they're just not healthy right now. But when they get, like, man, it's crazy to think how much alignment affects the game. Because
what?
Just a lineman being out. Because when you look at like Justin Herbert, his time to throw, it goes down significantly because he's trying to help his line by not holding the ball too long. But his depth of target goes down a ton. It goes from 7 yards per throw to like 4.8. So it's like the entire offense, the identity, like everything changes completely just with Joe Alt gone. And they turn into a whole new team, and it's just not who they are. And when you can't be your identity, you're going to lose a lot of games. And it's like the Chargers are just hoping they can get Joe Alt back and they can get back to their identity when they're, beating teams like the Broncos and the Chiefs and, whoever else. They think they can beat anybody when they're at their best, but they just haven't been able to be healthy in 4 weeks now.
Yeah, and in those 4 weeks, I mean, they're looking at a 1-3 record. They lost against the Giants 21-18. The loss against the Commanders 27-10, which they looked really bad in as well. They win against Miami, but 29-27, very close win, and then they lose to the Colts 38-24, and it didn't even look like a 38-24 game. It looked like a 38-14 maybe game, it was that bad for the Chargers throughout. And I mean, Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt being out, Rashawn being out for the entire season before it even started, and then Joe Alt now during the season. Yeah, man, it takes a huge hit on the offensive efficiency, and especially for Herbert, who the first 3 weeks of the season looked like a early MVP candidate,
Yeah.
And Mac Jones going to throw left. Juwan Jennings gets about 5 yards.
Change in 4 weeks in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying. I said that, I think, on Good Morning or Breakfast Club. I was like, however you feel right now, just know that you're 4 weeks away from feeling you're capable of feeling the exact opposite.
Yeah.
If you're on a 4-game win streak, you could be on a 4-game losing streak in 4 weeks. It's such a week-to-week league, and you go from being the MVP favorite, maybe a Super Bowl team, to being a team that's probably going to miss the playoffs. And it happens in 1 month. It's crazy. Look at just the Panthers.
Yeah.
I mean, they win a couple games, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, they could win this division. I mean,
Mhm.
look at the Bengals win over the Steelers. Now,
Mhm.
what does that do for the Bengals? I mean, the Bengals have the same odds almost as the Ravens
Mhm.
to win this division. And Cleveland is like plus 2,200, and they have the same record as the Ravens, who are like only plus 130.
Wow.
So it just shows you like not even the records are all treated the same.
Mhm.
Look at you look at the Ravens record and you look at Cleveland's record, exactly the same. Yet, if you look at the division prediction, the Ravens are plus 120, and then the Browns with the same record are plus 2,500 because
Wow.
one of those has Lamar, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. The Lamar effect there as Brian Robinson takes it up the gut to about the 26-yard line, looking at a 3rd and short. The 49ers.
Brett Coleman, you know Brett Coleman, he's like a famous content creator.
Yeah.
He said, "I keep waiting for Bo Nix to take a step, and it just keeps not happening." And then he commented on his own post, "Note to self: wait 49 more minutes."
Yeah, and that's just one of the things about being a fan, dude, is just like you're always like, when is this going to happen? Why hasn't this happened yet? And a big first down pass into the red zone for Juwan Jennings and the 49ers. But like you said, dude, it's 4 weeks ago, the Chargers were one of the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
4 weeks later, they are second in the division, losing big to the Colts, who I was saying earlier are the best team in the AFC right now. And, Herbert doesn't look like an MVP anymore. And it just happens like that. So just like he had to wait 49 minutes for Bo Nix and the Broncos to take that dub, we had to wait about a month for the Chargers to kind of come back down to earth.
Yeah.
In a sense. Yeah.
So we saw the Commanders lose, and I was saying after that Bears game, I was like, this is very interesting because next week I was like, there's going to be a fork in the road. And I'm telling you right now, I think Dallas is going to win. It might not even be close. And the Cowboys routed the Commanders. And I feel like this was that fork in the road game. I was right about it because now Commander fans are kind of back to the drawing board. Like we've never been in this situation with Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
Like there's starting to be doubts. They didn't have to deal with anything like that last year. It was always good. We haven't seen how this team responds to this type of adversity because they simply haven't faced it since Jaden Daniels has been their quarterback. But it's here and it's real. And now that hot Cowboys team, they're playing the Broncos next week. And Denver will try to continue to be undefeated against the NFC East. Hopefully they don't have to win by scoring, 3 possessions in the – they did it with the Eagles too.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, Dallas is definitely like turning the corner here. And
they could be a playoff team.
I was going to say right now as
Dak should be an MVP candidate. If he's not on your list, you have some kind of unconscious bias that you need to explore. Because if you look at his numbers – and you go, brand new head coach, Mike McCarthy is gone. His number one wide receiver goes down for almost half the season. Like who else if anyone else did what Dak, and he led not just like a capable team, but the number one offense in the NFL.
Yeah.
With all of these reasons that are valid, he would have had a pass multiple times to not be great. And yet, he refuses, and he just keeps producing in the face of all of this. And I'm like, how is that guy not arguably the most valuable player in the NFL right now?
Yeah,
would any other quarterback be able to do this? I don't know.
It would be tough. And, you'd mentioned the Commanders kind of realizing that this isn't last year, and not necessarily realizing it, but just being in this season, it is not going the way that they had planned after how things went so well last year. Jane Daniels had a hamstring injury after this game. So we'll see how this Commanders team can kind of come back for or handle adversity, because like you said, like last year, it was a great ride of a season that they had all the way to the NFC Championship. And now their star quarterback is hurt. Scary Terry has been injured and has definitely not been himself even when he's been on the field.
Yeah.
What's that?
He's been asked. I have him on my fantasy team. He's not even startable.
And even Debo has struggled quite a bit. It seemed like the run game with Bill Krosky-Merritt was looking good. And then, last week against the Bears on Monday Night Football, they did a really good job at stopping him. Things right now, this is what you need to do as a team. You need to be able to take all of this and just try to get above it. That's how, and that, you'll see how you come out, but you got to do your best, because adversity is going to happen all season, if not for many seasons. And McCaffrey gets to the 1 yard line, first and goal coming up.
I was hoping he was going to get in. Sorry, I wasn't. I just, I had McCaffrey and I saw him get open and I was like, is he going to throw it to him? And
I was going to say,
lofted it up. But yeah, dude, you're so right. And I think whatever happens in the next 3 weeks, it could break the Commanders if they're not careful. Yeah. Their season could come to a abrupt halt in the next 3 weeks.
Especially after last year, you don't want that to happen at all.
Yeah, and I think part of it is just I don't believe Jaden's healthy, and we've seen this time and time again where as long as the quarterback's on the field, the fans don't care. They expect that other version of Jaden Daniels. Don't be the same type of franchise that cuts Baker Mayfield after playing hurt just to see him be an MVP favorite somewhere else. Like,
exactly. And McCaffrey,
yes,
up the middle for a touchdown. I was gonna say, when you said, "Man, I thought he was gonna get it," I was like, "He's about to. He's about to. They're gonna hand it off."
Boom.
Boom.
Jets.
D-Rock saying, "I have a query. If you have to choose between Sweet Feet Peyton or the 85 Bears."
What's Sweet Pete Peyton?
I don't know. Do you mean Sweetness?
You mean like Walter Payton?
Yeah, Sweetness was his nickname. Man, if I have to pick one individual player or the team,
I think he means like between those 2 years. It's hard. It's always hard for me to judge years I wasn't alive for, though.
Yeah, that's always difficult. I mean,
you're like, I imagine it was great.
Yeah, I can only imagine it was great. That's our only Super Bowl, which, by the way, I'm wearing the Champions hat. This is the post-dub fit right here.
Only one Super Bowl.
Sweetness.
You gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Those literally are rookie numbers. And my God, when we went in 07, I was like, this team's gonna keep going. And then they did.
That's how it always feels as a fan. Like, you're never like after Super Bowl 50, like today was the 10-year anniversary. So we had all of those players at the Broncos game in person watching this today. But none of those players or even fans at that time were like, yeah, we're not going back to the playoffs for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, imagine it's like, Broncos, you are Super Bowl champions. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm getting word. Okay. You guys won't be back in the playoffs for a decade. Who would have thought that was accurate? Like, that's good intel. The best defense in the league isn't going back to the playoffs. Like, this is a historic defense. That's not true.
That's how I felt when, after the Bears went to the Super Bowl, because what did they do is they drafted Greg Olsen the following year, number 32 or whatever overall. And I was like,
really? They drafted Greg Olsen?
They drafted Greg Olsen. He was a Bear. Yeah.
I always remembered him as a Panther, I believe.
Because that regime after was so dumb and they traded Greg Olsen for nothing. And then he goes and has a really good career with Carolina too. But that's what I was thinking. I was like, we brought in Greg Olsen. Desmond Clark's getting old. We still got a lot of pieces from this offense, and then it just never. They didn't have a winning season until 2010, and then after that, not until 2018. They didn't have. They've had 3 winning seasons since the Super Bowl in 06, which is crazy.
Would you rather go to the Super Bowl and get blown out, or lose in the NFC Championship?
Go to the Super Bowl, get blown out.
Really?
Yeah, at least it's nice to know that you went.
Yeah, it just no one cares if you get blown out. Like, it doesn't get you any points. Like,
yeah, but that's nice because you almost become a forgettable Super Bowl contestant unless you're
like
a fan.
Toyota halftime, Broncos historic fourth quarter.
There it is. There it is.
Dude, I can't tell you.
Yes, he
like,
did, Crafty.
The pure joy that I have right now. It is just like it's gonna last a while. Like, the media is gonna be all over this.
Oh yeah.
There was already a tweet by Nick Benito. They were beefing all week, and he was saying to Brian Burns and Abdul Carter. He goes, they disappeared fast after the game. I couldn't find them. And then it was #delusional. And I was like, oh my God, what?
That's rough.
Yeah. It's like, I love it, but oh, damn.
I know.
It's like you almost lost.
Yeah, you really, it's strange. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Here we go. Falcons 1st and 10 from their own 31. Penix going to get it to Pitts for about 4 yards. 2nd and 6 upcoming for the Falcons.
Is on a contract year. And you look at, dude, he was drafted to be Tyler Warren, Brock Bowers at the time. And it's kind of weird because we've had 3 consecutive years, I believe, or maybe 3 out of the last 4 where a tight end has come in with, it's like, there is nobody that comes close to this level of athleticism. He ranked 9.8 on the raw athletic scale, whatever. We've seen it 3 years in a row where they just keep upping each other. Kyle Pitts is the only one that was disappointing year after year after year. And now here he is with a contract season. Atlanta doesn't pick up his 5th-year option, and he's got to go out there and prove to the world that he can play ball. And he's having I believe, his best season yet. His rookie year was pretty good, but sandwiched in between now and then is a lot of inconsistent play, a lot of injuries, a lot of why isn't Kyle Pitts getting the ball more? Just not good stuff out of Atlanta. So good to see him getting more involved.
Oh, big sack lunge and the ball came loose.
That's Niners ball.
Wow. And I was going to say, hopefully the Falcons can score here before the end of the first half. And instead, strip sack 49ers. Yeah. 3
timeouts. And I felt like Penix has been holding the ball kind of weird today. And you talked about it earlier. I don't know if he's holding it too low or what, but I feel like that this is why he's susceptible. He's holding it. He's got the ball really low, and that throwing motion so long, the windup.
Yeah.
I wonder, this is something I've really never noticed about Penix.
Wow.
And for whatever reason, it's just like glaring. It's just like jumping off the screen today.
Where it's just taking him forever to get rid of that. And
he's a lefty.
And he's a lefty. He's weird.
Yeah. Like sometimes when you see a lefty throw, there's the illusion that it's taking longer.
That's true.
You're not used to. So I'm trying to keep that into consideration.
Let's see if Mac Jones and the 49ers could take advantage of that turnover.
Ooh, good snag.
Yeah, for about 5 yards. Kendrick Bourne gets that catch. I was going to say something about that.
The throwing motion lefties?
Yeah, there's been players that have actually said too where the ball is different coming out of a right-hander versus a left-hander.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they know that.
Yeah, harder to judge too because you're just not used to seeing it.
Here's a screen pass. Oh, gets blown up.
Oh,
Oh.
McCaffrey.
Richard said, very true. I'm left-handed. The weird throwing delivery. See? Richard knows. Richard knows.
Remember, like Tebow was a lefty, and his throw, you felt like you could sit down, unpack a boxed lunch, eat it, pack up the picnic blanket, and the ball still wasn't out of his hands. Like he took a solid 2 seconds from decision to throwing the ball, getting it released.
Oh, ball went loose.
Go.
Oh. Wow. Caught. Oh, looks like they had gotten to Mac Jones.
Is he eligible to catch it? Oh, no, it can't be advanced.
Fumbled and recovered by number 75.
Yeah, but it can't be advanced.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 4th down here for the 49ers. Leonard Floyd, former Bear.
I just don't know if there's going to be a game this year that's going to outdo that one. That might be the game of the year.
That was a good one. That was a very good one. 33 points in the 4th quarter. That is insane to me, dude. That is insane. It's just like, I didn't know there was enough time on the clock to score 33 points in 1 quarter. Jesus. They're going to do an official review here.
What's their official review?
I'm not
the ball
sure.
was moving forward?
Yeah, it doesn't look like at any point when it got hit by Leonard Floyd did he have control.
No.
It.
Once he went to throw it, but once the ball hit his own helmet, he didn't have control of the football.
I wonder though if they're going to because there was forward motion on the ball coming from his hand, they're going to call it an incomplete pass. Ruled incomplete on the field. So that's what it's ruled now. They're going to review it. And while that happens, I'm going to be right back. Quick P for the D. P for the C, the commercial. Be right back.
Oh. I always think something different when he says P for the C. I won't say what. But extremely difficult to win despite the refs in the NFL, but that's what we did today. I'm wondering. I'm seeing Vic Lombardi just posted. Bo Nix just pulled off 3 straight 4th quarter comebacks for the Broncos. He might be the first quarterback to do that for Denver. Not even Elway did it 3 straight games. I don't know. I got to go back to that Tebow year. Tebow time was a really weird, and I made. I'm gonna have to go back and clip that because there was a moment in that 4th quarter where I said that there's a part of this team that feels a little bit like that Tebow time, that 4th quarter magic, whatever you want to call it. There's some of that today in the Broncos. All about G-Man. They posted, that was for you, DT, with a picture of him. And Giants fans go, you're horrible regardless. Hand was coming forward. It is a forward pass. Look, once it hits his helmet, looks like he loses control of it. Regardless, the call in the field is reversed. It's an incomplete ball, which is going to help the 49ers. Oh, my back. Let me see if I can. Oh, there we go. Eddie Pinheiro. Look at this. And I have a button I can lift my desk up, which is kind of cool. All right. 55-yard attempt coming up from Eddie Pinheiro, who's had a late career resurgence. Snap, hold, kick is perfect. Honestly, it's perfect. And can we all take it to a vote that we want the NFL to go back to the graphic where it said it would have been good from 63, 65. Do you guys remember that? There was like a couple years where when they kicked the field goal, it would say 55. And then when it was good, it would say would have been good from, and it gave you the distance it would have been good from. I have no idea whose idea it was to get rid of that. Awful idea. I speak on behalf of everybody. We all liked it. Nobody was like, gosh, that graphic's dumb. Could they get rid of that? Sometimes they just, I don't know what, I'm like, why would they get rid of that? Eddie Pinheiro, 16 for 16 since they brought him in. And that one would have been good from probably 2 more yards. So what, 57, 58 is probably his max? I don't know, because he hit that one kind of high. He probably would kick it a little flatter if he wanted more distance. I really don't know. Oh, the ball's out. And the Falcons are able to pick it back up. And oh, he takes a huge hit. And what a camera angle that was on the return. And now the 49ers with 3 timeouts. I wonder if they're going to try to call their timeouts. You know what I mean? I mean, if I were San Francisco and I see the Falcons kind of falling apart here, I'm calling my timeouts. See if I can get the ball back. Oh, is that a free play? No flag. Caught. Why was that not a... I guess he didn't jump in the neutral zone? It looked like he jumped, didn't it? Ruled incomplete on the field. Mac fumbled that ball off his own helmet. It's like the butt fumble, but helmet fumble. Penix caught! Darnell Mooney stays on his feet. Timeout, Atlanta. Yes. 2 catches now for 50 yards. There we go. Darnell Mooney. Wow. Christian McCaffrey with 17 points already. Troy Franklin ended up getting 12.9. I should have started him over Jalen Coker, who got me a goose egg, 0 points. And Travis Hunter with 25. I don't know if, is that somebody that I should start next week? Because I would be projected around 165 points if I would have started him. Instead, I'm projected around 140. Still a great week for my team as usual. Penix rolling, and he's just going to throw this one away. Smart. Honestly, should have made that decision a little quicker with only 10 seconds on the clock. Plus, he decided to, this is going to be an intentional grounding because he's in the pocket. And then that's the end of the half because of the 10-second runoff. So that's it. We're done. We're done. Wait. It depends, because does the 10 seconds go from where the penalty was committed? Because there was technically 12 seconds on the clock when he decided to throw it away. So if there's a 10-second runoff, is it from where the penalty was committed, or is it from the end of the play? So, Rick, they're calling an intentional grounding here.
10-second runoff.
It's a 10-second runoff. But here's my question, because they're going to end the half this way.
Right.
If you call a penalty, shouldn't their 10-second runoff be from where the penalty is committed? Because there's technically 12 seconds on the clock when he lets this ball go, which is so they let the clock run down until that ball hits the ground. And before that penalty, I'm like, if you're going to throw the ball away, do it in a faster way than launching it with a bunch of airtime to the sideline. Like, you wasted a couple seconds, but also the half wouldn't have been over if he wouldn't have thrown it away in a way like where it took, 2 full seconds.
Man, that one's got to be like, you got to look at the rule for that 10-second runoff, because I don't know if it's like, hey, it's 10 seconds from the point of where we stop the clock, or from the point of when the penalty was committed. Because I agree. I think even if it is like a runoff, like, I don't know. I feel like they should at least get a second shot in Dak's face. I don't know what the hell that was. That was weird. But
it's like he's getting older. And it looks weird on him.
He almost looked like that laughing guy meme, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I agree. I think maybe it should be from where it was called. And in this case, like you said, they would have had 2 seconds left to kick a field goal and at least make this a 1-score game.
Yeah, I don't think it can be both. Like, I don't think it can be like, we're going to honor the seconds that came off the clock after we called the penalty. If it's in fact a penalty, I think the rule should be it's from wherever the penalty is committed. It's 10 seconds from that point.
From that point. Yeah.
Because
I would agree with that. I would have no problems with that. Because the refs always are like, hey, adjust the time clock or the play clock to this. Adjust the actual clock. Yeah, adjust the actual clock back to this. So I wouldn't mind that being a part of the rule here for the 10-second runoff, because I get why they do it, because it's a punishment for, just doing an intentional grounding, but also it's like, all right, but at least give them a shot,
Yeah.
But if it happened against an opponent of the Bears, I'd be all for it.
Yeah, because I think I'm like, how do other penalties work? I'm pretty sure, like, if there was any kind of play where, for instance, that fumble that happened, the 49er guy picks it up and he's running with the ball. The clock is continuing to run, even though technically the play was dead from the moment that he picked up the ball, because it can't be advanced.
Yep.
So, did they go back and change the amount of time on the clock in that? I know they changed the yards, but did they go back and change the clock, or do they say that's time that came off the clock? It's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just forget about it. Like it never even happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking. Sometimes the rules in the NFL just, I don't know, man. They don't make sense sometimes. I wish the refs just.
Yeah, I said that to someone the other day that was like, he was complaining because he bet on something, and it was like a quarterback to have 4 or more rushing attempts, and there was a play where it was technically called a sack, because even if a quarterback snaps the ball and he's running with the intent to throw the ball, and he like slides down, the defender closest to him gets credited with the sack.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because it's like, and there were people that were like, how is that not a rushing attempt? He slid.
Yeah.
But because he slid behind the line of scrimmage, it was a sack and not a rushing attempt. And it was just like, I was saying, like, look, there's so many technicalities in the game. Like, I feel like every week I watch, I learn a new rule or something.
Or something even like surprises you almost. I mean, what happened last year? Who was it? I forget the receiver's name, but it was the guy for the Kansas City Chiefs who was a Giant, who was drafted by the Giants at first, who kept committing offensive offsides or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we're like, what is this offensive offsides? We've seen last week with the Bears on Monday Night Football, Theo Benedict, the left tackle, lining up not enough behind the center's ass to be called like an illegal formation. I'm like, what are these? Where are these rules coming from, and why are they rules? You know, it's like you said, you learn a new rule every week. That's how I feel the last 2 seasons. I feel like rules have been popping up out of nowhere for these guys.
They're if you're watching the halftime, oh my God, dude, Knicks was incredible in the fourth quarter. It was like, wow,
dude, imagine going to that game and leaving in the fourth quarter or something.
Broncos 33 points in fourth quarter, most by a team that was shut out through 3 quarters in NFL history. Wow.
Cortland Sutton's just the man. Oh, Jackson Dart is so mad.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Like Jackson Dart, you're gonna have games like that. You're a New York Giant. You're gonna have games like that. But
he had one of the best games against our defense of any quarterback.
I just saw it, and they had his stats up there: 280 some pass yards, 4 total touchdowns for him. Like he did really well. And we got to remember, this is a rookie against one of the better defenses in the NFL and the Broncos, and he played well. It's just, can you there at the end put your team in a position to win? And, you know, unfortunately for him and fortunately for the Broncos and Kyle, he did not.
Yeah. And this is, I think the Giants, like, there is such thing as a moral victory when you have a rookie quarterback in his 4th start, you know, like, as much as like Giants fans are gonna be like, there's no moral victories in the NFL. It's like, okay, I'll say it for you. There is, you know, that you have a rookie quarterback on the road. The Giants haven't won a road game since the week 4 game against the Seahawks in Seattle last year, or 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
They haven't won a road game?
Yeah, like period.
Really?
The Giant Seahawks game. I remember that. It was like week 4 or week 5.
God.
And we were like, the Giants are good, maybe? I think that was 2023.
Oh my God. That is forever. Wait, didn't they beat the Chargers though in LA, or am I wrong?
No, that was at home. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
No. It was 29-20, and it was funny because they were actually up 23-20, and then the Seahawks were kicking a field goal to tie it 23-23, and it got blocked and turned into a touchdown, and the Giants won 29-20.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it was week 5 because the Giants were 2-3 and Seattle went to 3-2. But that was October 6, 2024. So it's been over a year since they've won a road game. And here's your rookie quarterback going on the road to Denver, where obviously a crazy environment. And Dable said it when they were up 19-0 running off the field. He's like, this is a really loud environment. This is a really good team. We're just going to have to play another good half of football. Like, and Jackson Dart did that. Like, he gave his team a chance to win. Ultimately, the defense let him down. So how can there not be such thing as a moral victory when you just found out what your quarterback's made out of?
Yep.
You know, that data is invaluable. Like, you just found out that your quarterback can do something that no other quarterback's been able to do to our defense besides the Colts.
And not only does that look good on Dable, but the entire front office now looks better with Jackson Dart because of what he's been doing for them to get them back into this conversation of they're actually a decent team, So
the Giants are going to be a really tough team, I think, week in and week out. And
yeah,
the one thing that they do really well, you have Jackson Dart, who, as a starting quarterback, is the most successful rusher. He runs the football better than any other quarterback. In the last 3 weeks, he's averaging like almost 100 yards rushing. And that's why the Giants have had like 170 rushing yards per game in Jackson Dart's 3 starts, which is how they're winning games. I mean, you look at their first win against the Chargers, and Dart had 89 passing yards. How do you win the game like that? Well, you run for 179 yards. Then you get the win. Okay. But against Denver, like, Jackson Dart had, I think he had -1 or 1 yard rushing. So, like, they took away what they do best. And unfortunately, I didn't realize the Bijan Robinson's still scoreless. Sorry. But no, for Jackson Dart, like, I really do think that there is that. We talked about it. When you fire a coach or bench a quarterback, there's that initial surge.
Yep.
And you're just, as a fan, you're waiting to see if that is going to linger, or like, oh, is this sustainable what we're doing? Or is this like a fluky thing? Or is this our new identity and we could expect this every week? And going against Denver, it's complicated because Jackson Dart didn't have any success running. So you're like, okay, maybe certain teams were not going to be able to run the football this way, but then Dart threw it for 300 and whatever yards. So you're like, oh, so he can, if he needs to, he can throw the ball, which is why this loss was so incredible for Giants fans, is because he showed you he can adjust to whatever the defense is taking away, and he'll hurt you by attacking what they're not taking away. You know what I mean?
100%. And that's what you love in a quarterback too, is like, yeah, I can get it done with my feet, but because I'm not able to now, let me throw for almost 300 yards too, and be effective doing it at the same time. And Richard, go to sleep, man. Get those drinks in. You got a dub tonight too. And we will see you tomorrow. He said he's going to listen to us at work tomorrow. Can't wait, Richard. It's going to be fun. Thanks for stopping in throughout the day, Richard. Have a good one and good night, drunkie. But yeah, man, and again, this just is like, it's one of those things where if you're a Giants fan, you're like, how could this season have started if we bring in Jackson Dart game 1, right? I will say, even though there was tons of people, and us included, saying bring in, start Jackson Dart. We know who Russ is, and if not Jackson Dart, then bring in Jameis, like start him, right? I really do like the way Dable brought in Jackson Dart for like 1 to 2 plays per game before he became the full-time starter, because at least you're introducing him to the NFL. Hey, this is what you're going to be playing up against. These are the defenses. These are NFL pro level defenses you're going up against. And yeah, they may not be the best, rankings wise, talking about the Cowboys and such, but these are NFL players. This is not Ole Miss anymore. This isn't college. This isn't the SEC. This is NFL. And now you see him having quite a good amount of success so far throughout his first few starts. So got to credit Dable there for kind of, bringing him into games and giving him a taste of NFL in like small doses before being like, you know what, my job's on the line. Let's start our boy Jackson Dart. And so far that has paid off for the entire organization.
It looks like the 49ers are going to take the opening drive here, and if they could go down and score, all of a sudden it's 17-3.
Yep. And just a quick update on our poll on Only Football YouTube page.
What you got for us, Rick?
52% of the voters have said that the 49ers are going to win versus 48%. So it is damn near a tie as to who's going to win this game. Let's see if this game reflects the voting here on our poll. And
They're
that
cheating,
first
dude.
run goes a yard.
They're cheating. They waited till halftime.
That's true. They are cheating.
Jeez.
That's what Kyle thinks of you guys who voted. You guys are cheaters.
That's you and me right there.
Are you Collinsworth and I'm Tarico?
Who's that? Yeah, I technically because you do the play-by-play.
Here we go. Mac Jones rolling right. And he's just going to throw it away under pressure that whole time. It's actually 10-3. So let me update the ticker here for you guys.
Sometimes the best play you can make is not having a negative play. Look at that. Drake London last week. I can't hear what they're saying, but I could imagine that it's about how great Drake London is.
Mm-hmm. You said he had 180 receiving yards or something?
150, I think.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Still,
39.
big game. And then it's really like, I feel like the second half is going to come down to who plays better, Max Jones or Penix.
Yeah. Definitely agree with that. And
did
Mac
he go back
Jones,
on his own? I don't know if he gets forward progress here.
I think he did. I think Bourne got it, and that was
I
a
think he
quick.
did too. I think it's close though.
Yeah, quick
That's
10-yard strike.
Let's see. Does he go back? He goes. Yeah, I think he was past it, about a yard past it. Yeah. Damn, it's close.
Jones 10 for 16, 79 yards and an interception. Only touchdown so far has been CMC.
This is going to McCaffrey. Nope.
Yeah, it's going to go to who is that? Big catch. Who was it?
Sky Moore.
Sky Moore, number 9 for the 49ers. Big catch and run for a first down.
He's like, that's my first catch this year. Let's go.
Hey,
him. We were like,
hey, everybody! I'm still on an NFL roster. Let's go.
I'm still him.
Yeah,
and, we're all like, who's number 9?
Yeah. Oh, Sky Moore. That's right.
Hey, remember him?
Mac is going to hand it off to CMC, and he's going to get about 4 yards on that tough run.
Easily my favorite thing about CMC is when you pause it when he gets the ball and you look at the defense and you go, there's nothing there. And he gains 7. You're like, how does he do it? I mean, there's just so many times where he takes the ball and right before contact is made, you go, this is probably a gain of 1 or 2, and it's a gain of 4 or 5. I just love that about him.
Love running backs who can make something out of nothing. And here he is again. And like you said, almost like nothing there. And he goes between the tackles, gets 2 really tough yards. And it's going to be a 3rd and short upcoming here for the 49ers.
Yeah. Like I feel like it's an undervalued thing in this league when you have a running back that in one play might not look like much, but you add up, the 3 yards that he fought for on first down with the 2 yards he just got now.
Right.
And instead of 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9, you're at a manageable 3rd and 4. It's a huge difference. And their average is 5 yards to go.
And CMC again, 3 straight runs and he gets a first down on that 3rd and 4.
When you can run it on 3rd and 5, and is McCaffrey okay? Is he okay though?
I think so.
He's just taking a rest, right?
Oh, yeah. So here on the tackle, you can kind of see the tackler lands on his right ankle. So maybe that's why he's running off. He looks fine, though.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, 1st and 10 inside 25.
Yeah,
always. Mac Jones, quick sidearm to Kittle goes incomplete. Could not
Kittle
bring it
doesn't
in.
have his mojo anymore.
Oh.
I'm kidding. It's his first game back. We'll give him a game. Yeah, we'll give him a game. I'm excited to see him back because the 49ers have been one of the more unlucky teams with the injuries. It's like it's been receiver after receiver, the entire defense, the offensive line. Isn't Trent Williams done for the year as well?
No, he's right there, 71.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I think early on he was not playing, right?
Something went on. I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe it was during
Let me see. Trent.
That was Brian Robinson Jr. on the run there. Bijan, like, come on, give me the ball back, guys. I can do this. I can win the game.
Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall. Yeah. I mean, they're just the fact that they have a 4-2 record is just coaching. It's just coaching and their ability to draft.
Incomplete to
didn't get
Jennings.
his feet down.
Yeah, he was a lot of momentum going towards the sideline and able to get both feet in on that catch. I don't even know if he got one in.
I don't think so.
No.
So it's going to be Eddie Pinheiro, who's came into the league. He's kind of like a guy we gave up on. Now he's 16 for 16 since being a 49er.
Yeah.
And we've already seen him knock through a 55-yarder. I don't know why they got rid of that little thing that used to say would have been good from 43 money. Remember, it used to go through and it would say would have been good from 55. Or
I remember that because then we say that all the time too, where it's like a 60-yarder and there's like a good 7 yards past the crossbar where we're like, oh, that would have been good from 65.
Yeah, like why get rid of that? We all liked it. No one
did like seeing that. The NFL likes to do things that don't make any sense, and
they're
it's almost like
get rid of that. Everyone's loving it.
It's almost like being in the military, guys. It's like, why were we doing that? That doesn't make any sense. And why are we doing the thing that, and why did we get rid of the thing that makes sense? That happens quite often.
Oh, because Chief hates his wife. Got it.
Oh, because you got another DUI? Jeez, sorry, my bad.
He can go home for the day, but Chief doesn't like his wife, so we're gonna stay and clean for 4 hours. Dude, it's not my fault that you chose the wrong partner. Let me go. I like my wife. I want to go home.
He likes hanging out with the boys, so we're all gonna clean here and
we're gonna
listen.
Chew tobacco in the office. And we're gonna talk shit for a couple more hours. Is that cool? We don't really have a choice. I mean, if that's what the call is.
I'm sorry, I phrased that as a question. What I meant is that's cool.
Oh
God, I do not miss it. And for me, 9 days ago, we did the military does this thing where you sign a contract and other than your active duty time, you get an additional, well, technically it's an 8-year contract. In our case, 6 years of that was active and 2 of that is inactive reserves. And as of 9 days ago, my contract has been fully fulfilled.
Wow.
And I'm no longer tied to anything military wise. So that was really cool to kind of like come to that realization. You know what I mean?
You just unlocked a new fear. I didn't know that was possible.
Well, you've been done.
I'm done, right?
I know I'm done as of 9 days ago. Because I mean, you know, everybody does this, and anybody in the military who signs a contract signs really an 8-year contract. And you know, again, however many of that is active, whatever's left over is inactive, ready reserve. So they could call you back at any time in case, you know, something happens. But
very unlikely, though.
Very unlikely. There's plenty of reserves and there's plenty of active duty where that situation will have to be like a World War III situation.
Right. And in which case, honestly, I wouldn't mind being called back if they were like, if it was that important.
Big return for the Falcons inside of the 40 6-yard line of the 49ers for the Falcons.
what they
Already
needed.
great.
That's the spark they needed right there.
Yeah, great field position here for them. And
I just thought, imagine getting called back for some bullshit. Like, hey, we're gonna do a training operation with Taiwan. We really we called you back for that training exercise. We're out of people.
I'd be so mad. I'd be like,
No.
I need a no shave chit because I'm not shaving again. Fuck you.
Give me a no shave chit and let me
We'll call it good.
yeah. Oh God. 1st and 10 midfield. Great starting field position.
There's Bijan. About a
Yes.
7-yard run there for Bijan.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
CMC, yes, I can.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you
How
can't.
far on this drive? 9:40 to go. And it does feel kind of important. I mean, you look at the game and your first possession of the second half, you've been moving the ball, just haven't capitalized. Get a touchdown because I really feel like Atlanta's playing about the same as the 49ers.
Yeah, it just hasn't translated into any points. And there's a 2-yard run by Bijan, 3rd and 1 upcoming. But I agree. Like, their offense has been able to move the ball. Penix has been under quite a bit of pressure. I mean, you saw during some of the highlights of the first half there in that halftime where he just had to throw the ball away. And I understand, like, from a fan perspective, it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, that's probably most likely the safest thing you could do there as a quarterback.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And here we go. 3rd and 1 for the Falcons. Shotgun for Penix, trips right. They're going to motion to the left side. Takes a snap. Run with Bijan. Oh, no, that's Algier, who actually cuts to the outside and is able to get the first down. Crafty said there's Ward with his fat foot on the table again. I love it.
I'm just posting our stream in a bunch of random trending Penix places.
Penix?
Come watch with us.
Are you spelling cum like C-U-M?
No?
No, you should.
Dude.
First Penix back to pass, and he's got a wide open Kyle Pitts inside the red zone. What a thrown catch.
I told you. I freaking told you.
Nothing.
I didn't tell you, no.
You said nothing. How dare you? I think Ward is using his foot to hex the Falcons. Oh, man, I actually got to check because I wonder if the Mariners are winning their game right now. Oh, they're not. 5-2.
There's going to be a lot of people probably coming in now just like, you guys are stupid. I don't know. You know,
I agree.
I invited Brando, so let's see.
Bijan, 8-yard run.
Yeah.
8-yard catch and run. Wow.
I need Bijan to get in the mother end zone.
I agree.
Him to get in twice.
I agree.
We've seen a lot of Bijan Robinson. I want to see touchdowns. McCaffrey with 20 points already, fantasy-wise.
I want the ball, and I want to score.
Of course. Darnell Mooney's got 50 yards receiving. When you went to D to the P, you missed a 40-yard catch from Darnell Mooney.
Oh, really?
I forgot to tell you.
Let's see if they can get it here. It's going to go to Bijan again. Cuts up, first down, touchdown. There you go, Bijan.
First down, up, down. Get there, touchdown. There we go.
There it is. There's the score, Kyle. You said you wanted him in the end zone. He heard you and got in the end zone. It is a game again for sure, Crafty.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bididing, bididing. Man, just running. Let's see. How many? 1, 2, 3 defenders he gets through for that score.
Wow. Should I cash out? of this bet.
What was the bet?
It was like about probably 9 legs, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them hit. It was Christian McCaffrey touchdown,
Mm-hmm.
Bijan Robinson touchdown,
Yep.
Darnell Mooney 20 yards receiving, he has 50.
Nice.
Kyle
Nice.
Pitts, 20 yards receiving, he has 43.
Yep.
Jawan Jennings plus 15 yards, he's got 26. So those are all done. All that's left. Michael Penix Jr. 225 passing yards, he already has 155. Michael Penix Jr. 2 passing touchdowns, he has 1. Bijan Robinson 50 yards receiving, he has 30.
Mm-hmm.
And Drake London to have 38 more receiving yards to win $243. It was a $5 bet, but they're offering me $19 now.
What are you thinking? Is your first instinct to cash out?
My first instinct is to let it ride.
I think you should go with your first instinct then.
Yeah.
But if nothing happens, it's your fault.
That is how it works. Technically, that's how it works.
Technically speaking.
I used my profit boost in my winnings from the Broncos game, and I bet Bijan to score 2 touchdowns. And then I profit boosted it from plus 380 with a 30% profit boost to make it plus 500. And I bet $10 to win 60.
Oh, nice.
So 1 more touchdown from him, and I'll win $60. So I'm thinking, I think I just let it ride. I got a lot of upside, and I already won, $80 today. Just let it ride.
What is the profit boost exactly? Like you get a percentage more because you won a bet, or what?
So let's say the Bears were playing the Saints, and the Bears were plus 100 to win it. If I did a 30% profit boost, instead of the Bears being plus 100, so if you bet $100, you'd win $100. A 30% profit boost would take it from plus 100 to plus 130.
Oh,
it's 30%. So then betting 100 would win you 130.
So and that's something they offer? Or is that something you can? Oh, okay.
They offer it like for Sunday Night Football. Usually a primetime event. It'll be like Monday Night Football profit boost. So you can take something that is pretty likely, if you use it the right way, you can, increase your odds a lot. Like I usually will do it on something a lot longer. So, because 30% of 4,000 is a lot more than 30% of 100. So
I agree. Yeah,
I should have used it on this long one I just talked to you about, because that
big hit there.
Oh, damn. Okay, can we try to sync up here?
Yeah, am I ahead of you?
Just by a little bit. I'm seeing George Kittle and McCaffrey. They just highlighted Kittle as a blocker.
All right.
Let's see. Now I'm seeing him highlighted again on the second play. And you're probably just going to tell me to tell you when they snap the ball, right?
Yeah. Let me pause it when they snap it. Yeah, let me know when they snap it.
Snap.
There we go. McCaffrey, left side of the line, gets past a tackler and gets about 2 yards there. So we should be synced up, right?
Yeah, we're synced.
Ba, 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 ba,
I
ba.
don't want to be a fool for you. I'm just another player in your game of two.
But it ain't no baby. Bye, 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 bye. You're gay, dude. KC, football's king. Football is king. I love the Mariners and the run they're on, but football's king. I'd rather watch a
once
regular
the Brewers
season
were out of
Sunday
it, I gave up.
Yeah, take those L's. Take those L's. Fly the L. Take the L's, baby.
Didn't they beat the Cubs?
And then they lost 4 straight.
Yeah,
to the Dodgers.
So imagine how bad you guys are.
Dude, we're better. We actually would have given them a series, dude.
I don't even know how to talk shit about baseball because I don't know enough. I'm just like, oh, the Brewers are playing. I'm cheering for them. That's like the extent of it.
Yeah, I feel you. The Cubs, I was telling a bunch of people, I was like, I'd be surprised if they made it out of the wild card round, and they did, and then they made it a 5-game series. Juszczyk.
Oh,
No,
no.
unable to get a first down. He
What a
got
bummer for
stuffed.
this offense. It's so weird because I remember doing a whole episode on the 49ers letting Juszczyk go.
Yeah.
I'm so confused because, like, did he re-sign after testing free? Something happened because I remember the 49ers decided to part ways with Juszczyk during the offseason. And I don't know, like, how he ended up back with the Niners.
I think it was there was like a number that they couldn't reach, and eventually they both parties got to a number that they were both happy with, and they were like, all right. But he definitely, if I remember correctly, definitely tested free agency for like a few days. But I think his heart has always been and always will be in San Francisco. So I don't, they both, I think, again, like I said, I think they both came down to a number where they were both like, yeah, we're good with that. Sweet. Let's go. You know what I mean? So he's back with the 49ers, which and his wife makes like all these really cool, like clothing.
Yeah. Here's the
jackets and stuff.
So 9-time Pro Bowl fullback Kyle Juszczyk is returning. This is March 15th to the San Francisco 49ers on a 2-year, $8 million deal. It had been a brief split. The 49ers released Juszczyk on Tuesday before bringing him back into the fold. Juszczyk, 33, and the 49ers had nearly parted ways last offseason before he agreed to a pay cut. And then a source said Juszczyk took less than what the Pittsburgh Steelers were offering to return to San Francisco.
Yeah.
A team and fan favorite. Juszczyk's return was celebrated by Christian McCarffrey, by George Kittle. Juszczyk was one of the first free agents whom Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, general manager, signed after taking over in 2017, and he's been named to the Pro Bowl in each of his 8 seasons in San Francisco. He was also first-team All-Pro in 2023 and second-team All-Pro in 2024. 212 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns on 60 carries. Not that impressive, but look at this, 184 passes for 1,895 yards and 13 scores in his time. So he's been a sneaky wide receiver threat. It shouldn't be sneaky because there's such a large sample size of him having like a 40-yard game, and it's just always like the odds for him to do it are always like ridiculous. Like, really? You really think Kyle Juszczyk's going to have 40 receiving yards? And you're like, yeah. And he'll do it like 10 out of, 17 times. Like,
damn.
He's a really good, like, sneaky threat. He's so versatile.
Yeah. This is his 13th season in the NFL. His first 4 were with Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't remember him before the 49ers.
No, and I don't remember him with the Ravens, and I really don't remember like really hearing his name until about 4-ish seasons ago, right? Where he really kind of became a threat in the fullback game. But credit to him, man. I think after spending so much time in San Francisco, right, you're just kind of like, this is home. So
yeah, and it's not, you have the money, and you're just like, it's not worth the extra $1 million to fly across the country and live in Pennsylvania. Which, like, and then there's other players that are like, maybe they don't have a family and a wife and they're single still, and they're like, I want to go on an adventure, see what the Steelers are about.
That's one of the things I was saying because the job that Kyle and I had in the Navy, it was you go from boot camp to Florida to train, and then you either stay in Florida or you come to Washington. And I remember saying, like, if I was single and not married at the time when we were in Jacksonville, picking orders and stuff, I would have been like, yeah, send me to Washington. Fuck it. I'll just try a new state. Obviously I got sent to Washington anyway. But we wanted to stay in Florida, but yeah, dude, I would have been fine.
Yeah. I totally know what you mean. Cause I was like, I grew up in Jacksonville, so I couldn't believe it. Like when this is going to sound really crazy to you, but I lived in Orange Park. Like I drove past NAS Jax.
Oh, wow.
Almost on a daily basis. And I never knew that was a naval air station.
Really?
It's just like, that's how little I cared.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't I
get you.
I just never asked. I was like, oh, there's planes there. That's all I know.
Yeah. I get you.
Going back there, I was actually trying to stay because I had so much family there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they sent me to Washington, I was like, this must be like the biggest joke ever. Everyone pretending that it sucks over here.
Yeah.
I'm like, this makes no sense. Like, I still feel homesick for Washington.
Really?
Yeah, it's just it depends what you love. Like, I'm a nature person. Like, at the heart
of
what I love, I just want to be around 20 different shades of green and be outdoors and going on hikes. And I just love being connected to the earth. And I never felt more connected to the elements as I did in Washington.
That's true. That'll definitely make you feel like the nature over here is unmatched anywhere I've lived. And Penix, big throw for a first down. And they're saying no catch. The 49ers are. But the refs, the refs are saying catch.
Did he ever get touched?
Oh, that's a catch all day. Yeah. And I don't think he ever got touched.
Why didn't he?
He should have gotten up and ran. Yeah, I agree.
But he gave it
to him. His foot touched them. The 49ers foot touched them. Yeah. I guess that counts as a tackle. But
I saw Josh Allen took a knee to go to halftime and he never had control of the ball and then he gave it to the ref. And then they never did anything about it.
Here's a Kyle Pitts throw and catch, and they're saying no catch, hit the ground.
What is with these accuracy issues from Penix?
I don't know, dude. And
these are quick throws. Just come on. Why is that ball hitting the ground?
Mm-hmm.
That's the catch.
And as the Broncos game was going on, I know you had all your focus on that. I was watching. I was watching Red Zone, and they were also going back to the Cardinals Packers game. Jacoby Brissett had in that fourth quarter had at least 5 throws that did not reach their receiver and just hit the ground. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You have a chance to win this game, and you're just throwing them to the ground. That's ridiculous. And
in
London with a catch there.
Oh, good thing that was only second down. That's going to bring up a manageable third.
Mm-hmm.
I think the play before that was a catch. They called it incomplete. I don't know if it's because he lost yards technically. So they were like, yeah, let's not challenge it because it wouldn't do us any. That's a first down.
Yeah, that's a first down. The ball definitely crossed the plane there.
So with the expedited review, when does the NFL determine they're going to do it? Are they? It looks like they did it there.
I guess so. Yeah.
Because that's kind of another thing. It's okay, they have the power to do it, but when do they decide to do it?
Yeah. When did they decide to just be like, that's a first down, guys. Mark it as a first down. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It has to be those really I'm assuming there is a headquarters of NFL film, and you got 7 guys just on computers.
Have you seen any
every
ACC
angle?
Games?
What's that?
Have you watched any ACC games? Even one, Florida State versus the big ACC, the conference.
Yeah. Very rarely do I get to watch college football, so no.
Well, I'll tell you after the 2nd and 9 here.
Oh, almost a sack lunch, and Penix gets it away.
There was a big game between Louisville in Miami on Saturday night. But if you watch any ACC game, and I really wish not only other conferences, but the NFL would adopt this. So let's say there's a targeting penalty. So the refs come out and they go, we need to review it for whether it's level 1 or level 2.
Yeah.
And what they've done is they let you go to that room that you're talking about.
Mhm.
And they have the headsets on and they're in real time talking to the refs like, yep, we see that. And they all come together. And
Mhm.
instead of it being like something you don't see, they televise the whole conversation.
It's a flag. Oh, that's kind of cool because now you're kind of getting the perspectives from all the refs.
Yeah,
And they're
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and they're able to determine whether or not it was a first down, a catch, whatever the penalty may be or whatever. Let's see what this flag is. Delay of game on the Falcons. Oh no. Raheem Morris didn't like that one. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, 0. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Although Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have gotten that flag. Dick. Third and 14 now for the Falcons in 49ers territory.
Watch Bijan on a quick throw, try to get him into space.
Back to pass. Penix throws right. Caught. No, incomplete.
Why? How do we know? That wasn't an angle that we could.
Yeah. And that is incomplete. 4th and 14 now.
Can we
and
get
Salah
a
loves it. Yeah, right? Like a better angle at least.
We're just going to. Okay.
All righty then. We're just going to move on.
I don't know. I mean, the receiver did have the ball in his hands at the end of that play.
Yeah. All the 49ers were like, nope.
Back at that.
They must have been like the Friday Night Lights. It must have bounced off the ground and just been like super obvious.
Or this is a big miss.
And here's the punt by the Falcons.
It was
going to land.
Replay.
Wow, inside the 3.
That's good special teams, man.
Very good special teams.
There was a moment in that game, the Broncos game, where our punter was at the 40-yard line, and he punted it to their 21. I was so pissed. I'm
oh
like,
my God.
Dude, if you're punting it from the 40, they should be inside the 10. The worst case, inside the 20.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, he like hung it in the air forever, and they just fair catch, boom, 23. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I feel that because it's so frustrating as a fan to see that, and you're like, you're in plus territory and you're punting it and you should get it inside the 10, but yeah. I wonder if like the wind or something, because
rookie, like you could see he added himself right after. Like
really?
Yeah, because it's like there's no excuse for you not, being able to. Because really, you got to think about it. Like when this kid, we drafted him out of Florida. He's Australian and he's got a crazy, crazy good leg. But in the preseason, he struggled bad. Like it was like scary.
Oh, really?
He struggled, and he was considered the best punter in the draft. So it was like, okay, is he going to be good? And then he started the season pretty well, but he has a couple moments, where you see something like that happen, where it's like the guy's capable of kicking it from our 20 to their 20. Like he's capable of that.
Jesus Christ.
But then you see other times, because he has such a big leg, he lightens up his kick and he just lightens up way too much and ends up, kicking a, net 30-yard punt. And you're like, like he's still trying to find that.
Like the sweet spot.
Yeah. Control the leg. It's very raw. Just trying to, I guess, fine tune some things still.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And it just sucks because like you're brought on and you think when you're in a situation like that, your punter's going to be able to do that. But I guess there's just so many factors into that. Like, did he kick it off wrong? Did he get it off the wrong side of his foot? Things like that. But
you don't get that many reps. Like,
yeah,
you get,
but I feel like in practice you should. Like, I feel like how the offense runs like 2-minute drills and practices or, goal line type of stuff. I feel like the punter should be able to do something like that too. But
you do get a lot of practice reps, but one of the things with the punting position for a rookie is when you're in a real game and the pressure's on, how do you simulate that moment in practice?
Yes, good point.
And that is what you only had the preseason really, and those games don't really matter that much.
Yeah. They're the best thing you can do, though, to simulate that pressure, like you're saying.
It's the closest thing you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another big part of it is, the punters are nervous, just like the kickers. We don't think about it because we're like, they're just punting. But for them, it's their whole life.
Yeah, it's literally why they get paid.
Like, if I screw this up, I have no plan B.
Yeah, I got to go work sales at fucking whatever company.
It's like fields where it's like, I'm so prolific that even if this fell through, I could probably land a job in the media,
Yeah.
something like that. Like, if a punter doesn't work out, no one remembers who you are. Like, you can't just go be an anchor on ESPN.
The most successful special teamer after their NFL career is Pat McAfee. And he's been doing it for like a decade now. And just like over the last,
that's true. There is the most successful player arguably ever post-career.
Yeah.
Is a punter. So there's that.
It's so funny because he's done it for so long, and just now over these last like 3 years is it really like, oh my God, he's blown up. He's on ESPN and on YouTube and all that stuff. But it's like he is the most successful punter post his career in the NFL.
And it's funny too, because like if you actually watched McAfee like we did, it's not that surprising. Like McAfee was not a normal punter. Like
he had swag.
Yeah, I know, because like a couple of those hits that are in his highlight reel, I remember watching those games. Like there was one where we had a really good punt returner. Actually, we are the only team to return a punt in a Super Bowl for a touchdown.
Wow.
Devin Hester returned a kickoff, but never a punt.
A punt, yeah.
We returned a punt, and it was that same returner. I'm blanking on his name right now. But we were playing the Colts, and he was like, he got past everybody, and McAfee laid his ass out. Like, I was like, dude, this guy's insane.
Yeah.
I had no idea he was going to become, whatever he became, but like, I knew he was different than all the other punters.
You're like, this punter's an athlete. My God.
Yeah, he had swag. That's the best way I could describe him. Because
he really did.
Just like hit you and like, just run to the sideline. Like he would be like,
yeah.
It was like so like obnoxious.
and as a returner, if a punter's doing that, you're probably like, this fucking guy. I want to lay him out so bad. And he's over there like, I got you, I win, you loser. But fun stuff with Pat McAfee.
All right.
And the success he's had is just, it's like good for him. Like he's been able to do that with former players. He's got coaches on there too. Like good for him and what he's been able to do with this platform.
Like
yeah, exactly. And we're gonna be like him.
He did
soon enough.
Just as big. Here's McCaffrey on first down, and I'm gonna take this one home for us.
Hell yeah, sounds good. Well, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna let Kyle continue the excitement on Sunday Night Football. 13-10 49ers lead. If you haven't already, hit a like, hit that like button, subscribe, become a member, $2.99 a month. Kyle and I have got some exciting stuff in terms of content coming out, and make sure to tune in to NFL Breakfast Club on Tuesday mornings. This is Kyle and I have been having we've only had one episode of that, but it's been really, really fun as McCaffrey gets 2 yards on that run. But make sure to tune in the morning if you can. Have your coffee with us, and we'll be here Tuesday morning and have a really, really good time. But All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Kyle, have fun, brother. Good job on the win today.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure you enjoyed the hell out of that.
Athlete right there.
That's an athlete. You guys may not like it, but that's peak male performance right there.
So funny that a guy looks like that.
I know.
I find that hilarious. This one's definitely coming down to the wire. So definitely we'll have something to talk about Tuesday at Breakfast Club. But
Can't
I will
wait.
See you then, brother.
All right, guys.
All right. Atlanta, 3-point game. Can they come back and make it a game? And on the other side, can the 49ers put the foot on the pedal, get a touchdown, make it a 2-possession game? Even if they do make it a 2-possession game, if there's one thing we've learned, it's that the game's not over. But it's 3rd and 3, and it's got to be a conversion here. Jones going deep. He went through his hands. Oh, it was caught and dropped all in the same play. How do you drop this ball? This is such. Look at this. Oh. And look, I know for 49ers, they're screaming about the penalty. The penalty's so dumb. No. If you slow it down, yeah, does he touch him? But is he altering his body or forcing him anywhere? No. He's got to catch that ball. I feel like that's the other thing was like, if you drop the ball like that, you can't ask for the penalty. If you just if you drop the ball in that type of a way, you can't even ask for a penalty. Levi Stadium hosting the Super Bowl. Put it in the chat. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl this year, 2026? Who do you guys got as your Super Bowl team? Let me know in the chat. Also, let me know how your fantasy football teams are doing. I'll start with mine. I'm projected 130. Ooh, the guy I'm playing's projected 23. And Daniel Jones, who I've started for 2 weeks in a row, man, he's been great. He got me 31 points today. And last week, I started him as well with Lamar Jackson being hurt. And he got me over 30 points as well. He's just like becoming someone that is very reliable. He had, let me open up his game log here. So, he played, why does it say Arizona? 10-12. Oh, because that's last week. Last week, the Colts played Arizona last week. They won 27-31. That didn't sound right. Is that what happened last week? Colts schedule. Let's see. They played Arizona. Huh. Forgettable. But yeah, only won by 4 against the Cardinals. Cardinals have been hard, sneaky hard team week in and week out. But Daniel Jones, 22 for 30, 73 completion percentage, 73.3, 2 touchdowns, add a rushing touchdown. Just amazing stuff from Daniel Jones. I hate that it won't just give me his amount of points scored. Let me pull it up here. Here we go. So we had 30 points last week, 30.98. So quite literally 31. And then today, 31.97, about 32. So that's about 63 fantasy points in his last 2 weeks. Pretty incredible stuff from Daniel Jones. Here's the Atlanta Falcons with a chance to tie this game up in a 3-point game. Penix in shotgun's going to hand this one off. It's Tyler Algier. So they bring in a change of pace running back, Christian McCaffrey, and Bijan Robinson, the 2-star running backs going at it. Bijan comes back into the game here. 2nd and 3. Atlanta needs a field goal to tie it, and I feel like with the way the 49ers are playing offensively, they need to capitalize on it, get a field goal. Here's Bijan in motion, and it's going to be a quick throw to Bijan, who's going to make it all the way to the 40, so like a 15-yard gain there. Let's see. How are these bets looking? Come on. I need Atlanta's offense to get rolling a little bit here. Need Bijan to get a touchdown. Penix to get a couple more yards. Bijan and Drake London. Here we go. McCaffrey and Bijan comparing each other. Running back comparison tonight. 18 touches for Bijan, 24 for McCaffrey, 103 rushing yards, almost 50 receiving yards for McCaffrey. So McCaffrey definitely winning, but a lot of football left to be played. Bijan in motion, and here's the throw, and it's caught, and it's Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, 9 targets, 7 catches, and Kyle Pitts is turning into what he was drafted to be. And I think for Atlanta fans, they're like, why did it have to take this long? Wasn't Kyle Pitts, when did he get senior added to his jersey? I don't recall him being a senior. I thought he was a junior. Or maybe nothing. I don't remember anything being on the back of his jersey. He might have just became a father and then decided to add it. I never really agreed with, like, not agreed, but I always thought it was a little distasteful to give my kids, like, my name. Like, I feel like they need to pave their own path, to who they are. And, as far as legacy, like, they have my last name. You know what I mean? That's the legacy. But your first name, I feel like, like, who am I to be like, I'm giving you my name and, that's a gift. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it's just too, like, egotistical for me. I feel like even if I came from a dad that gave me his name, I would be the guy that breaks it. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing this. Sorry. Unless my name was something crazy like Stanley Yelnats, where if you spell Yelnats backwards, it's Stanley. If it was a name like that, I understand, like, okay, we got to keep this one in the tradition. But if it's like, Bob Thor, Billy Bob the third, Billy Bob the fourth, like, I'm gonna break that up. Let's call one of these kids Bo. Which, by the way, Bo Alton Kitzman, exactly 1 month from his due date today. Bo Alton. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bo Alton. Bo Alton Kitzman. All right. Xavier Worthy, 13 rushing yards, 3 catches, 35 yards. Kind of disappointed from what we saw from Xavier Worthy. You start to wonder if with Rashee Rice coming back, how that's going to affect Xavier Worthy moving forward, because it's a small sample size. We only have one game with Rashee Rice being back, but so far it's not looking good for fantasy managers that have Xavier Worthy or Juju Smith or Hollywood Brown. Here we go. Come on. Let's go. Hey, I've driven down this road that the camera's going down. Tyler Algier was injured, but he's able to walk off under his own power. Here we go. Penix looking to throw. Quick throw, and it's Bijan Robinson who takes it to the 35. 9-yard gain. They're in field goal territory. Atlanta's going to tie the ball game here. They're either going to tie it or they're going to take the lead outright. Christian McCaffrey. 3rd and 1. Oh, they're going to pitch it, and they're going to stop Bijan. And I feel like Atlanta's got to kick the field goal here. You better decide quick, or you're going to get a delay of game that's going to make it a 55 to a 60-yard field goal. How many times do you see coaches take too long to decide? Then the penalty takes them out of field goal range. Luckily, they got the huddle broke with 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5. They're going for it. Here we go. 3, snap. Penix. Oh, my gosh. Intercepted almost. Incomplete. Intended for Drake London. And this is what I'm talking about with Penix. This is just the reason it was almost jumped. I mean, they're lucky. This was almost a pick 6 here. It's just, it looks like it's happening in slow motion. Like, that is just not quick enough. And yet it went right into Drake London's hands. But because Lucas jumped it, I think he was expecting Lucas to hit it. Lucas didn't touch it, and it hits Drake London. He wasn't expecting it, but that could have been easily caught. So just another mental mistake. Here's Christian McCaffrey, who's going to catch it and pick up 11. And McCaffrey just continues to be the workhorse. And man, let's see McCaffrey stats. $160 total yards. Expedited review, so he's going to be 2 yards short of where they credited him to. So we're going to do it again on 2nd and inches. McCaffrey, 7 yards deep. This is typically going to him, but it's going to be a Mac Jones QB sneak, and he ends up picking 4 yards. Speaking of 4, we're going to look at the 4K Skycam brought to you by Walmart, and it's going to be Trent Williams, who we've been talking about today. Trent Williams started the season actually having a down year. And we were like, well, at some point it was going to happen, his age and him missing all offseason and all that stuff. But, oh my gosh, look at McCaffrey go. Picks up another 10. Christian McCaffrey, 13-yard gain. And he just continues to take this 49ers team and put it on its back. Really, he could be considered an MVP this year. Man, if he would have bounced that outside instead of inside, I wonder if he could have gone the distance. Here is a run. And look at that. Is that Brian Robinson? Who's going to pick up what? 7? Clock. Time is starting to be a factor. We're about to enter sub 6 minutes. And we are under 6. Handoff again. And it's going to pick up 2. That's Brian Robinson Jr. So here comes McCaffrey. 3rd and 1. And McCaffrey comes back onto the field. And man, is there a better trade in the last 5 years than McCaffrey being traded from the Panthers to the 49ers? I mean, you look at that season, and they were, I think, 3-4. It was week 7. The 49ers were 3-4. And that was 2022, I believe, or 2023. I think it was 2022. Man, it might have been 2000. I'm trying to remember. No, it was 2021, I think. Because that was when Russell Wilson returned to Seattle. Or was it 2022? Here's Mac Jones dropping back, avoiding a sack, taking off and running it and diving. When did Russell Wilson return to Seattle week 1? It was 2022. So that's the year he was traded. So they were like 3-4 by week 7. They end up trading for McCaffrey. While that is happening, Jimmy G goes down with an injury, and that's after Trey Lance went down, and in comes Brock Purdy. They don't lose a game for the rest of the year until the NFC Championship game when Brock Purdy broke his elbow. Then you're like, wow. So we go into 2023, and all we know is the 49ers have lost 1 game with CMC, post-CMC trade. And it's Brock Purdy breaking his elbow. They've won every game that they had a quarterback. So what do? They go to the Super Bowl. And when you look at and then last year was obviously, it was a bad year, compared to the previous 2, but still, like, the overall sample size of the McCaffrey trade is monumental. And if you want to know how big it is, look no further than last year when the 49ers didn't have McCaffrey all season. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the 49ers look like without CMC. They're not a playoff team. They had some other, people missing last year, some other positions and, whatnot. But still, like, that's how important CMC is to this team. And they're going to pitch it to him here in a rare tackle for loss. That's a big play right there. Pitch it to McCaffrey, and he's going to lose 5 there. All right. What are they going to do here? Do you just run the football and keep burning the clock and feel good about your field goal? Or do you go for a touchdown? They're going to pass it. Mac Jones, middle of the field, caught McCaffrey. And now you got to call a timeout if you're Atlanta. Why? I mean, now you might as well not. Wow. Why did Atlanta wait 7 seconds to burn that timeout? Why did Atlanta wait 7 seconds before calling their timeout? How are you not prepared as a head coach before that play even happens to call a timeout if they were to pick up the first down? First and goal. Here's another run. Pushing the pile. Christian McCaffrey. Wow. Falcons. '49ers versus Falcons. Touchdown is confirmed. Were. We were watching the game. You were tweeting. All right. Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel post-game presser has gone viral, leaving many fans concerned because we're not. I mean, if you are negatively affecting the football team routinely, assess another player. Let's hear it.
We're going to find out there's a lot of guys that will have an important work week because we're not. I mean, if you are negatively affecting the football team routinely, I don't have a choice but to, assess a different player, and I have to coach a lot better as well. So we need. We're going to find out who and what we're made of.
Rashi Rice is still down at the 50.
I don't think it's that bad. That's just another example of like things not being as bad as they're written. Actually doesn't sound that concerning. Make sure you watch the video before responding. All right. Jackson Dart on his late game interception. I've got to be way better than that. That shit's unacceptable. Wow. Oh, needed a big return. Instead, the 49ers get a big hit. Let's go back to the touchdown, Chris. You go first. Yeah, I talked about this during the break. There is a pulling the runner that's happening. Oh, it's illegal to do that. 75 clearly is pulling him into the end zone. 10-yard penalty does not get called. Falcon fans are going to be livid about that because it was blatantly obvious watching the replay. He was pulled. And a deep shot. And it's in and out of the hands. Darnell Mooney. That's just another ball that has to be caught. It's a low ball, sure, but how many times today have Falcon receivers dropped passes? You had Drake London on third down, Darnell Mooney going deep. You had another deep ball previously to close out the first half. You had a Drake London bad drop earlier in the game. It continues to happen. Penix firing, and Darnell Mooney catches it. Keep in mind, statistically, Michael Penix Jr. has been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL late in the game when his team needs a comeback. Now, unfortunately, we're dealing with a 2-possession game here. So, you're relying on an onside kick, but we need Drake London. A big play to Drake London. Got to be Drake London. What do we got? 42 yards for him. I need 28. 28-yard reception from Drake London and Michael Penix to score a passing touchdown, and I'll win $250. So give me a 30-yard Drake London reception and Michael Penix to throw a passing touchdown on this drive, and I'm going to come away with $250. Let's see, Atlanta. What are they? Plus 2,500. Plus 5,000. Let's put $2 on them just for fun. You never know. They could get an onside kick. Now, let's see. if you bet $1 million on the 49ers right now, you would win $100,000. Do you think there's people out there that just wait until games are at this point and just bet $1 million? Like, it seems like a winning strategy. Like, how often does a game like this end up resulting in a loss? I'm sure it's not 1 out of every 10. And if you lost $1 million, you win 100,000. So every 10 times you've won $1 million, you can afford a loss. But I'm sure it's like 1 out of every 50. If I had millions of dollars like that, that's what I would do. I wouldn't even be betting before the games. And well, I would be doing it for fun probably, but I think I would just wait until games got to exactly this moment and I'd be like, give me $1 million on the 49ers to win. And I would probably win like 50 out of 51 of those. Here's Michael Penix. Let's see if this could be, incomplete. It's going to be, we're still waiting on they're going to call it incomplete. Okay. That's Bryce Huff, who came over from the Eagles. Okay, so now they're going to rule it a fumble. And wait a minute. If it was, did he go out? Oh, he went out. What are we doing here? That looked like a forward pass. That was a forward pass. How is that not a forward pass? How does the ball go that far if you didn't? Yeah. Now, what's the rule about side arming? Because I know if the arm's going forward, but technically a side arm. You know what I mean? Like they're like the arm was moving forward, but technically if you side arm it is parallel, but moving forward still considered forward. Come on. I thought the NFL was supposed to expedite these. My favorite post Broncos game activity is going on Twitter and seeing all of the fans that gave up on the team before the game was over. It's literally every single week. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't wait till this one's over. 156. Come on, Atlanta. Drake London. Get it to him. Come on. Come on. Can you guys fucking block for this guy? Penix is limping now. Illegal contact. That's an automatic first down. Illegal contact. Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like we see that every single play. Was it that bad? Here we go. Penix able to stay on the field and just throw it. Is it really like we can't block for 2 seconds? Here we go. 2nd and 10. Here we go. Penix going deep. Not even close. Wide open. Darnell Mooney, wide open. That is a huge miss. Damn. How do you miss that? Michael Penix, bro, are you like ass or what? Expect the Niners to bring some pressure. Good job picking it up. Drake London jumping for it. Pressure. Just trying to throw the ball up to him. This offensive line for Atlanta stinks. This line stinks. Let's see. I knew that wasn't going anywhere. He threw that into the ground. Man. Dude, he sucks. Seriously, Drake London was wide open. Darnell Mooney was wide open. There was opportunities on 3 out of the 4 plays to gain 30 plus yards. Look how terrible that is. Look at that. His feet aren't set. He's not even stepping into the throw. Look at him. He's like awkwardly throwing the ball. Inaccurate. Just terrible football. They should have put Kirk Cousins in. They should have put Kirk Cousins in. They would have had a chance to win that game. Jeez, McCaffrey's going to go down with 40 points tonight. 129 rushing yards. 179 receiving yards. You guys, that's over 200 yards of total offense for Christian McCaffrey. Over 200. yards for McCaffrey. And Brian Robinson Jr., quick timeout. Man, and it's such a bummer. It's such a bummer because there were so many plays left out on the field, and they just could not capitalize. Second and 6, and they're gonna take a knee, and now they're gonna have one more knee. Yeah, and they can just knee it out. It's over. It's over. So Darnell Mooney, 68 yards, 3 catches, but he did have 5 targets. I think that's pretty encouraging for his first game back, and there was just so many plays that he could have made if Michael Penix threw the ball better, which he didn't today. He had a bad game. And look, Atlanta's going to fall to 3-3, and with this one, let's see, with this one going in the books, let's see, all I have left is Chase McLaughlin tomorrow, but 140 points today. Let me see matchups, all matchups. 143 points for Hawk Tua, 144. Wow. This was just a really high scoring week. I mean, you look all around the league, at least in mine, and you got a ton of teams that ended up, let's see, first place. Did first place lose? Oh my gosh. This guy, first place in our league, is 5-1, and he's projected 101 fantasy points. And that's supposed to win because the guy he's playing only has 84 points. His quarterback is Tua. Tua had -1 fantasy points today. Jalen Waddle, 2 fantasy points. CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Warren did all right. Wow. So if, let's say Baker has 20 points and Rashad has, man, that's a shame. Laporta Potties and Bubkiss are the other 2 teams. Let's see how they're doing. Laporta Potties, he's going to win. And where's the Butkiss one? 146. He's going to win. Wow. Well, it doesn't matter. We keep on keeping on. We got a good team. I should have started. Man, if I would have started Travis Hunter, my team would have been at 175 fantasy points, which is incredible. McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, and Daniel Jones all got me 32 or more fantasy points. It's just been incredible from them. And then TJ Hawkinson had a touchdown that was called back. Unfortunately, that would have helped me out a ton. But I'm hoping next week we get Ricky Pearsall back, and he's dealing with a knee PCL injury, and that's kind of affecting the 49ers. But today they were able to just say, "Hey, McCaffrey, we're going to put it on you. Can you get us the win?" And McCaffrey was like, "I'll get you more than 200 total yards of offense, multiple touchdowns." And yes, that last touchdown shouldn't have been called a touchdown because technically he was pulled into the end zone, which is a 10-yard penalty. And it was very obvious and clear. And it's actually what gave them a 2-possession lead. So it was a pretty significant non call. But you're looking at the Niners and you're like, man, they were really just, it was all the Christian McCaffrey show. And they're a lot more balanced when they have other guys available. But, with Ricky Pearsall hurt, you're hoping that he can come back next week and the 49ers can have him because this isn't the best strategy. Let's give McCaffrey 31 touches. And, you don't want to get him hurt. You love that you can do that when you're in a pinch, but that shouldn't be the game plan every single week, nor do I think the 49ers want it to be the plan. So next week, when they take on the Rams, which is always a tough game. Or wait, no, next week they're taking on Houston. In Houston, one of the best in the league against the pass, against opposing wide receivers. We'll see if he is able to get back and get healthy. Another receiver that was out was Dalton Kincaid, tight end, but a lot of a wide receiver. He's considered day to day. So the fact that he was out, probably had more to do with Buffalo having a bye week this week for being out last week, because then he gets 2 weeks of rest. Expect him to be back next week coming out of the bye week. And then Terry McLaurin, who was ruled out Friday around noon. He was ruled out. I don't know if that's going to help the Commanders. I mean, it should, but it's not like he had anything really going before the injury. But it seems like the Commanders really need him to get healthy. And not just that, they need to get that rapport between, Jaden Daniels and McLaurin back to where it was. And Travis Hunter, if, you can ever take something good from a loss, I guess, it's that Travis Hunter finally had, an 8-reception, 100-yard receiving touchdown, his first of the game, and he had 14 targets. And you're like, okay, is this something that have we been building to this moment? And we heard Liam Cohen saying all week, like, we want to get Travis Hunter more targets. We don't want to just use him as like, catch and throw, slot receiver that can be shifty. We want to look, if you're going to trade next year's first round pick to get this guy, he's got to be more than that. He's got to play a bigger role in the offense than a shifty slot receiver that can, break for 10 yards on a slant. He's got to be a legit number one. And they've been talking that way. And finally this week you saw, double-digit targets and over 100 yards and a touchdown. So the question will be, in a terrible loss, 28-point loss, will any of the ingredients of what created this 25-point game, will those ingredients be there next week? Or will this loss, force the Jaguars to underutilize him next week? So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll have more on that, later. Lamar Jackson should be healthy. What's crazy is my bench 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 5 of my 7 bench players ruled out. Ricky Pearsall, Josh Downs, Dalton Kincaid, Lamar Jackson, Terry McLaurin. All ruled out. Luckily, I was able to pick up Darnell Mooney. And, he was dealing with an injury as well. He had a hamstring injury. I'm hoping that he didn't tweak it or, anything at all. I hope he's fully healthy after today, because I felt really encouraged by what I saw from Darnell Mooney today. I know they lost, but there was a lot of plays to be had. And for whatever reason, Michael Penix Jr. was just struggling with accuracy from the very beginning of this game, I'll add. I haven't seen a ton of Penix because the moments that he's been on primetime television, we've been streaming the other game. It's been in double headers. Last week it was like the Bears and Commanders were playing, and I didn't see the Bills and Falcons. And then there was like another one earlier. I think it was week 1 or week 2. So this was really that I can think of. This is my first time watching a full Falcons game. And, Penix ended up getting injured late in that game. He stayed in the game. He probably shouldn't have. But I've seen a ton of penis. Oh, that's not what you said. That's not what I said. Trust me. I have seen a ton of Penix. I haven't seen a ton of Penix. But what I did see today was like, oh God, this is the guy? I know that's not what you guys have been watching. There's no way. If this was the product Penix was putting out every week, Kirk Cousins would be starting. It was that bad. The only thing that even salvaged Michael Penix's day was the fact that Bijan Robinson is such a weapon offensively. That guy is such an animal that he's kind of able to make up for a lot of bad. So the weapons are there. Kyle Pitts is getting in space. He's becoming a weapon. You got Drake London. Darnell Mooney's back. There's just no excuse for Penix to have a day like that. The injury didn't happen until the last drive. So, I don't want to hear people making it about the injury. Overall, though, I thought the 49ers, like defensively, you just got to give credit where it's due. And the difference between Atlanta and the 49ers, and I said this when it came time for predictions, I was like, Atlanta's coming off of a bad win over Buffalo. And not bad, like they beat them bad. I mean, like bad in a good way. And the 49ers are not coming off of anything great. I forgot what it was now that a whole new week has happened. Let me see. Week 6 games, NFL. They lost to the Buccaneers. Okay. So I'm like, you got the 49ers coming off a loss to the Buccaneers. You got Atlanta coming off beating the Bills real bad. And yet I'm picking the 49ers. And I said the reason was because of coaching. I was like, if I'm ever in a toss-up where I'm like, I don't know. I like what Atlanta's doing, but on the other side, I feel like the 49ers are at home and they're going to want to bounce back. So it's kind of a 50-50. So where is the matchup coaching? I'm like, okay, that's where I could get myself to buy the 49ers in this game, is because I got to find a mismatch somewhere. And I found it in coaching because I felt like CMC's great, but I felt like Bijan Robinson kind of neutralizes that. And then I got to coaching and I was like, there is definitely a coaching mismatch between Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh as the offense and the defense of play callers and Raheem Morris, right? And that's what I feel like we saw. There was definitely a coaching mismatch, but there was also just poor execution by Kyle Penix. Like I said, it was probably I'm assuming this was his worst game this season. Also, I don't want to leave this off the table. The receivers had multiple drops today. I think I saw 4 big time drops. Some of them were fourth down conversions that ended the series. Others were, just big plays downfield that would have resulted in 50, 60-yard gains. Just a lot of bad drops by the playmakers today. Overall, it's just a really bad game. And you're just hoping we can, if you're Atlanta, we can clean this up. It was also a short week. They played on Monday night. You're riding high on an emotional win, and sometimes it's hard to travel across the country and play another football game just 6 days later. So blame it on whatever you want. There's plenty to go around. You got blame to go around. Everyone might have their favorite pick, but ultimately, if any one of these things would have been cleaned up, it would have been a good game. If the coaching would have been a little bit better, if those drops would have been caught, if Penix was more accurate, this game would have been a game. And that's saying something because Atlanta played so poorly in this game, and yet they were really in it the whole entire time. And the 49ers pulled away with a penalty that wasn't called by pulling Christian McCaffrey into the end zone. That's a 10-yard penalty. But there's still like a lot to say about that. Like, okay, Atlanta played that poorly, and yet they were really into it until the final 2 minutes. Like, why didn't the 49ers blow them out the way Atlanta played today? And it's like you don't know whether both these teams are better than good or if both these teams are just kind of mid and one of the teams made a bunch of mistakes today. And that's why the other mid team looked pretty good. We know Christian McCaffrey is the real deal, but outside of him, who stood out to you? Honestly, nobody. Nobody. I mean, they blocked really well, but the 49ers look like a team that it's not like winning this game makes you think like, oh man, they're really good. Like the Texans game next week on the road, that's a tough game for Atlanta. I mean, for San Francisco. And Atlanta, they're playing the Dolphins. So this is a good bounce back type of a game. They're going to play Atlanta at home. San Francisco is going to go on the road and play the Texans. And then the 49ers are going to play the Giants after that. And that's turning out to be a more difficult game than it was considered week 2. And then the Falcons are going to play New England, which is also a much more difficult game than we thought. So in the next 2 weeks, the Falcons are the only team playing a softball opponent, which is the Dolphins next week, which is really good because when you think of the NFC, the Falcons and 49ers, this game may have wild card implications because you're looking at these divisions and you're going, it looks like the Rams are going to win the division and it looks like the Bucks are going to win the division. So it's really the wild card for the Falcons and 49ers. Very possible that it's going to come down to the wild card. And now that the 49ers have the tiebreaker over the Falcons, it's really important the Falcons just have a better record than the 49ers altogether. So the fact that they played the Dolphins next week and the 49ers have to play the Texans and Patriots, you're looking at that going, okay, if we just take care of business, or I'm sorry, the the Giants. The 49ers are playing the Texans and Giants. The Giants are looking like an actual opponent, right? So you got the Texans and Giants over here, and you got the Dolphins and Patriots over here for Atlanta. So maybe Atlanta can get one of those games back. Oh, it's the Niners who play the Pats. Yeah. I accidentally messed that up. Um, so that's what the next 2 weeks look like, and then you get to week 10, and the Falcons play the Colts. So, like, and I want to be careful how I say this because for the Falcons, I feel like at time they've shown a lot of promise. I'm still not a believer in the Raheem Morris hiring. I never was. I never liked it. He's already been a head coach. He didn't do well. And I feel like when you have Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, I didn't even say Bijan Robinson yet. Michael Penix Jr. when he's playing good, not like he was today, but like there's enough talent on this team to hide the deficiencies of the head coach. And on the other side of the ball, you have such good coaching that they have hid the deficiencies from the players. I mean, look, you lose Talanoa Hufanga, you lose Dre Greenlaw, you lose Fred Warner, you lose Nick Bosa. I could go on and on. Like, the 49ers have every reason to be bad. And yet, because of coaching, they only gave up 10 points to this offense. Now, how does that happen? How do you have this much talent? And on the other side, you have a bunch of, second string guys that a lot of them never played before. And yet you get completely dominated defensively. Coaching. That's coaching. That's coaching. That's coaching. And that's exactly why I took the 49ers. But I say all that to say this. If the Atlanta Falcons miss the playoffs this year, is the Raheem Morris experiment over? And, we were just talking about earlier how 4 weeks ago, the Chargers were considered one of the best teams in the NFL. 4 weeks later, the Chargers aren't even in people's top 15. Like, that's how much things change in 4 weeks. It's insane. So, you take a snapshot of where the Falcons are right now. All right. If you took a snapshot last week, they beat Buffalo on Monday Night Football. They beat them really convincingly, right? 14-24. Take a snapshot of that on a line graph. This is their peak. Okay. Now they lose to the 49ers. All right. So we're definitely down from there. And the question is, very similar to where the Commanders were last week after losing to the Bears. When we play the Cowboys next week, if we lose that game, it feels like a real fork in the road where it's like this season we could lose it. It could come out of our grip before we even know it. And like we saw that today, the Cowboys demolished the Commanders. They absolutely smoked them. They got some garbage time points, whatever. It wasn't even close, a 40 burger. They completely smoked them. And then you look at next week, and for the Commanders, they play the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's why I said this could get out of hand quick because you lose to the Chiefs on Monday night. Yeah, most likely that's going to happen, which means you've lost 3 in a row. And then you play Sunday night against the Seahawks. And it's like, okay, then you potentially lost 4 in a row, and then you play the Detroit Lions. And then you've lost 5 in a row. So it's not until week 11 where the Commanders potentially get a win again against the Dolphins. So look at that snapshot of 4 weeks. And look where it takes the Commanders. It probably takes them, arguably, it takes them 6 weeks without a win. And now here we are in what I believe is the same turning point that the Commanders were in. The Falcons are going to have that. Okay. Now they have the Dolphins next week. Okay. whatever. Maybe they win that game, maybe they don't. But then after that, all right, they got to play a lot of tough games. You got the Patriots in New England. Okay, that's a tough one. Then you're going to play the Colts. That's another tough game against the Colts. Then an easier game against the Panthers. But if you just stopped right there, okay, and said, because the Falcons, I believe, have the bye week after. No, they played the Saints. So they're going to play 2 tough games, and then they're going to play the Panthers in the Saints. So they can make up for, against the Saints and the Panthers. They can make up for this loss, no doubt. But if they're going to be the kind of team that beats the Saints and the Panthers, but they lose, against the 49ers, and then next week they beat the Dolphins, but then the following 2 weeks they lose to the Patriots and lose to the Colts. Let's be real about what this team is. This team is going to end up being a team that is 500 at the end of the year. And if they do beat the Dolphins, but yeah, they lose to the Colts, yes, they lose to the Patriots. I mean, you have a team that's lost 2 of their last 3 weeks. And then they win against the Panthers, and then they win against the Saints, then they come right back to 500. And I think if you're trying to make the playoffs in the NFC, you got to be better than 500. You have to be. I mean, even in their own division, the Cowboys, who are 500, are now second in their division against the Eagles because they have that one tie. But outside of that, there's no team in second place in their division that has a 500 record besides, of course, the NFC East. Now, the Giants let one slip away today that they could have been 3-4, but I'm saying that to say the Packers are 4-1, the Lions are 4-2. The Packers are technically in first place in their division because they're 4-1-1. The Lions are in second, 4-2-0. They could be in first if they win tomorrow night. The Bears are in third, 4-2 as well. The Bucks are 5-1, and then the Panthers are 4-3, and now the Falcons are 3-3. So the Panthers are even, higher than the Falcons in their own division. And then out of the NFC West, like the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks, they all seem like playoff teams. But then you go to the NFC North and you got the Packers, Lions, and Bears, who all seem like they could be playoff teams. So then you look at the NFC South and the NFC East and you go, I'm sorry, but it's going to come down to whoever wins that division. There's no second team out of the East or out of the South going to the playoffs if there's 3 teams out of the North or 3 teams out of the West. And there's only 7 playoff spots. So that's not happening anyway. You can only have the NFC West can have, maybe 2 teams. The NFC North is going to have 2 teams, right? The Packers and Lions. That's 4 teams right there. Then you add in the Buccaneers, and then you add in the Eagles or whoever wins those 2 divisions. And there's only 1 team left. So is that going to go to the Bears? Is that going to go to the Seahawks? It seems like it would go to the Seahawks, right? So where do the Falcons fit in? I don't believe they do. And losing tonight was really honestly, that's why I don't have them in. Like if they won tonight, they would be going from beating Buffalo to beating the 49ers, and they would be 4-2. And it would be the Falcons are really a competitive team that could go to the playoffs. But now they're a 3-3 team, and I just think the North is just too competitive. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say with all of this in a recap is if I was going to do an overreaction, which I don't believe it is, I feel like the Falcons lost the postseason today. and they only have 3 losses. That's what's crazy about it. But I just I don't know. I don't know, and it could be an overreaction, but like I said, the Packers and the Lions, the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks, like, I think 3 teams are going to the playoffs out of the NFC West. I think the Niners, the Rams, and the Seahawks are all going to the postseason. So that only leaves 4 teams with 3 other divisions. So, the Bucks are gonna win their division, I think, or the Panthers, maybe. We'll see. But let's just say the division winners are in, Bucks, Packers, Eagles. It only leaves 1 wild card team if the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks get in. There's only 1 wild card team, 1 wild card spot open, and the NFC North has the Packers and Lions. So I'm gonna give that to the Lions, or if the Lions win the division, I'm gonna give it to the Packers. Do you think the Falcons are better than the Lions? Do you think they're better than the Packers? Because one of those 2 teams is going to take the final wild card spot. And there's only one, unfortunately, for the NFC South. There's only 1 wild card spot available because 3 teams from the NFC West are going to the playoffs. So, unfortunately, the Falcons are gonna miss the postseason because they can't win games like this, right? The 49ers had nothing besides Christian McCaffrey and good coaching, and this is a game where if the Falcons were good enough to be like, "Yeah, they could be better than the Packers," they win these type of games, and they just can't be consistent. That's why they're 500. That's why they lost 30-0 to the Panthers, and that's why they'll continue to be a win 1, lose 2, win 2, lose 1, lose 1, win 1, and by the end of the year, they're gonna be 9-8, right? 9-8's not gonna cut it this year. And Crafty says it here best. Chargers peaked in week 1. And they it's funny, but it's true. Honestly, I mean, we'll see what happens when they get Joe Alt back. Like I said, there's a ton of season left. But it feels like for the Falcons, it's just another year. And the question is like, who's gonna coach this team next year? Or are the Falcons content with going 9-8, missing the playoffs, and running it back with Raheem Morris? Like, what is, where's the line? Like, does Raheem Morris have to, uh, if he goes 1 game above 500, does he get to stay? Or is the standard, which I believe it should be, there's too much talent not to win 10 games. There has to be a coaching issue. I'm sorry, but if we load a team up like this, look at as a GM, you're like, dude, I gave you the best running back in the NFL, a couple top receivers in the league. One of them's top 5, arguably. I gave you one of the most gifted tight end prospects in NFL history in a franchise quarterback, and you can't give me double-digit wins. It's gotta be coaching. So, I feel like Raheem Morris is coaching for his job, and I still don't think 10 wins is even good enough this year to get that final wild card spot because, assuming the Packers are going to win 10 games and the Lions are going to win 10 games, I think they're going to win more. And I just don't have the Falcons winning more. So that's my recap. Of course, we're going to have more on this tomorrow, and I'll have more on my recap show. I will see you guys in a little bit for my recap. But thank you guys for watching Sunday Night Football, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. See ya!